Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for All About Android is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This episode of All About Android is brought to you by GoToWebinar, a trusted webinar platform with over 55,000 customers who have hosted over 2.7 million interactive web events to connect with their audiences. For more, visit gotowebinar.com/podcast. Hello and welcome to All About Android, episode 349, recorded on Tuesday, December 12th for Tuesday, December 26th, 2017. We're your weekly source for the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. I'm Jason Howell.
And I'm Ron Richards.
And I'm Florence Ion.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I got a question for you guys. Did you have a good Christmas? How was your Christmas? Awesome?
Probably.
It was, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was probably one of the best.
It's probably one of the
one
best.
for the ages. Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Looking back on it, I had some great times with family. We had fun. We had presents. I'm sure it was a great time.
There were candy canes. There was Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby came to my house. It was amazing.
Oh, well,
it's magical.
Yeah, I mean, in New York, it's magical. Christmas in New York.
It's magical to anyone outside of New York.
We have no magic here.
Normal. That's true. Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy that we had a good Christmas, or at least we think we did.
At least two thirds of us did. I don't know. Flo's got me bummed out now.
Well, I was just thinking, I'm like,
don't think too hard about Christmas because you got New Year's to look forward to. Okay.
It's true.
All right.
You know what I'm doing for New Year's?
What?
Nothing.
Excellent.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
I'm not talking to any of you for 24 hours. I'm putting my phone in airplane mode and I'm going quiet.
Yeah, I'm going to allow you anyways.
Okay.
And then when you reemerge from airplane mode, you're going to be loaded with aloes. We are here today not because we have a full episode of All About Android, but because we have a full episode of clips from previous episodes of All About Android. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this best of encompasses at least one moment from every single episode of the year. So as you can imagine, that takes a lot of time to compile. And thankfully, you contributed some of those moments by filling out the little sheet when we asked you to. So thank you for that. It also encompasses a whole lot of editing and hard work on the part of our producer, Victor, who did an insane amount of work putting this all together. I'm excited. Are you guys excited?
This is the highlight of my year. I can't wait for this.
I'm just going to sit back and go, what? That happened?
I like to look back. Every year I always watch this, and I like to look back at how much fun we had, about how great this show is, and just how much of my foot I can put in my mouth.
Yeah, that's pretty easy for you, Ron. Starting with this first clip from our first episode of the year, where I believe you and I break out into song, and
that happens a lot.
And I think it reminds Ron of his hatred of Aerosmith.
If you want something that's really stable, like Jason was saying, probably Oxygen OS would be your choice. But hey, if you want to live on the edge, you have that option too. It's the beauty of Android.
Yes.
Don't sing Aerosmith on the show, please.
Sorry, you say living on the edge, and it just pops in there. Okay, I can't help it. I'm noticing little chasms between Ron and I's music history. I was never big.
No. I understand the history. It's the musical tastes. That's
Ron doesn't like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And to that, I'm like, whatever.
And Aerosmith is like fingernails on a blackboard.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Oh. Doesn't solve the problem that those songs are stuck in my brain because I grew up around it through osmosis.
Picture this, all right? I know Petaluma is a little more of a sleepy town, but let's say you're down in San Francisco and you're commuting to a job downtown. You throw on your R8s And as you're going, you
Step
can
into the future.
You can scan your email as you're sitting there on Muni, and you can Flo could ride Bart and be able to watch a movie while she's just sitting there, as well as see what's going on around her. It's the future, man. This is what's gonna happen.
This is the future, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about these. I mean, I guess this is the direction of AR glasses, which is to make glasses that integrate the technology, but that don't look so much like you're wearing technology on your face. This is better. This is closer to that. Seems really expensive for the general consumer, though.
I don't know if these solve that problem either.
Yeah.
Like, because
it's a step in the right direction compared to what we've seen.
If you look at Josh, if we can zoom in on the photo of the dude wearing the glasses, right? A, they look weird, but B, those the arms or the behind his ear, that's very thick.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of technology packed into those glass arms. I don't know. Derek, would you wear these around in public or?
As a guy that wore these things that are on my face now for about 2 years, I wouldn't. I don't know why.
But you wore that. For 2 years.
I thought this was okay for 2 years, but I don't know. I think they're a little too big and not inconspicuous. Not saying that this is, easily indiscernible from the rest of my face, but
it just blends right in. I mean, serious.
I'd have to try them on, but I think I want something a little less bulky.
I was gonna ask if we're dropping the big bomb here or not.
I think we're gonna change the scoring mechanism this year too. Yep. Don't want to overcomplicate things, but we've been doing this for a long time now. Let's change it up a little bit. Why not? So I think what we've decided is that the first place gets 5 points. Basically, everybody gets a point of some sort. That way, if you're consistently second place, that says something. Like that's worth something, versus always being either first or last or whatever. So you get actually something for that. So first place would be 5 points. Second place, what did you say? It was going to be 3 points.
It's gonna be 3 points. Yep.
Third place be 2 points. First place or fourth place would be 1 point. I know that sounds confusing, but don't worry, we'll do the math. But basically, it just means that everybody that plays, depending on how they do consistently over time, could actually raise their standings throughout the year. I don't know. Why not change things a little bit? Jeez.
Yeah. And we talked about it a lot. We had a couple of emails going, and like we've been doing the show for years now, and we've had the same kind of format, the popularity contest format, and adding in the points. This is actually very similar to how and not to, I know people hate it when I talk about pinball, but in the pinball tournaments I do, when there's 4-player groups coming in, as opposed to someone coming in first and winning, the idea of everybody in the group getting points really allows somebody who consistently comes in second to possibly edge out somebody who comes in first once in a while, but comes in third or fourth most of the, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So what happens is that it averages out the results. It's not is another chat room saying we all get a trophy. No, this isn't a way you get a trophy. It's just a fun way to mix up the points. So and when we don't have 4 people, it will just be 5, 3, 2. And we're gonna. The question is when we're gonna have more than 4 people. We rarely have more than 4 people in the arena, and we'll figure that out when the bridge comes to it.
Yeah, that hardly
we're just having fun with it. But I do want to apologize to Wade County in the chat room, because now not only does he need to calculate the number of winners, but he's gonna have to calculate the points. So maybe we figure out some sort of spreadsheet or something like that we can all work on to figure that out.
Yeah,
so.
maybe we could throw him a spreadsheet or something to make that.
So the thing is though is that someone will still win. Like the 2016 was the year the guest won, but as opposed to the total number of arena wins, it's the total points accumulated. So that's
based on your performance throughout the year. I think it makes perfect sense. We'll
exactly.
see how it goes. And if it doesn't work, hey, there's always 2018. We can figure it out.
We're having fun. We're mixing it up. We're having fun.
Yeah. So that's the approach. That's the goal. Derek, I'm sorry if that was boring. This is all totally inside baseball.
I learned everything there is to know, I think, about polls and the scoring system. So, today I learned. That's good.
I'm Ron Richards for the 300th time.
And I'm Florence Ion. I'm not sure what time this is.
For you.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm filming it.
Wow, you are.
No,
man.
Oh, then they're done. So, Flo, for those who are just listening to the show, Flo
Is a
is wearing
millennial.
spectacles.
Wearing spectacles.
The official badge of millennials everywhere.
I like
Official
how
badge.
it's typical millennial to take a big landmark episode like the 300th episode and just steal the thunder with some bright pink
I'm stealing your
sunglasses.
thunder with my rotating LED light,
I'm
which
stealing
shows that
your
I'm
thunder,
recording.
10-second video at a time.
I'm so glad that in person they do look ridiculous.
No, but
It's
they do block out
confirmed.
the sun, so I will say, well, that's nice.
Well, you've got like styling on it on the side.
yeah, these are
and
really
stuff.
nice. These are really like.
That throw that in the product camera.
But
This
you
is
know
no
what?
joke. This is
Mine are already scratched up thanks to the CES.
whatever. That's okay. Show the bands though, because that's flashy.
And this is what it looks like when you're recording. So if somebody comes up with you with this little light, run as fast as you possibly can in the opposite direction.
Because nothing's better than 10-second video of people running away.
Yes,
Is why.
precisely.
that should be a whole Snapchat account.
really
people
That's
people
actually
running
a
away
great
from
idea.
me.
People running away the second you start recording with your spectacles. Okay, yay, nay. Are you liking them?
Well, so I'm working on the semi-review retrospective for Android Central right now, and it has its ups and its downs. But you know what? These were actually made for Android first, and they're actually kind of a pain in the butt to pair with iOS for some reason. People just have problems with iOS.
I should. Could I try?
No, don't even. Don't
Could I
do
try?
it. Don't
'Cause
do it. Don't do it.
I have an iPhone 7 here. Could I try pairing it with
We'll try after the show,
with
just
my
in
iPhone
case.
with my
What a-
iPhone
just
7?
in case.
What a train wreck of a 300th episode. Seriously, we're like less than 5 minutes in, and Florence is just ignoring the 300th episode, playing with Snapchat glasses, and you're using an iPhone. What is going on?
I know everything is so bad.
I don't know if
Am I
you've
the
noticed.
only one?
I don't know if you've noticed, Ron, but I've got a new wearable on my wrist.
It actually looks really good on you, I will say.
It's literally like you're trying to hurt my feelings. That's what it feels like. That's what it's like. Like all of Twit has conspired. How
What
can we
is
get Drive
this
Ron
UI?
crazy?
I don't know. And doing it backwards is not doing it any favors.
It's a stupid UI, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really hard to use.
The touch
right?
points are really small.
This is all about Androids. This is a safe space.
Safe
Safe
space.
space. It's just
Not
me,
anymore.
you, Ron, and
It's been 300 episodes, can you believe it? We sure can't. But don't worry, we've still got Android news.
One thing has not changed. Did I put the scratch on this iPhone?
Oh.
Already?
that's why you don't swap phones with your coworkers
Oh.
who sit right next to you.
Actually, when I got it, it had some decent scratches on it. I just don't know about that one.
Hey,
Whatever.
maybe you should go. Maybe you
It's
should go
not mine.
outside and pretend that it's your Nexus 6P.
Maybe what I should do is take it out of the case.
It's actually raining
And-
outside,
and then
but good for
trip.
you. It's water resistant this time.
This is how I get out of the experiment. I take it out of
Yes.
the case and I go for a walk.
Good idea.
You know what I mean? And oops, I guess I have to have my phone back.
Let that tall, whatever you are, stature, height, work to your advantage. There you go.
Brian, I know we have some breaking news.
Oh dear.
Oh damn!
It's true. Breaking news starts now.
In the meadow sings a song of satisfaction
We have joining us none other than Gina Trapani. How's it going, Gina?
What's up? Hey, friends. How are you?
Happy
Awesome.
300th episode.
300th episode to you all. That's such a huge accomplishment. Congratulations.
How have you been, Gina? It's been a while. You have been into your work. I know you've been super busy. How have you been? We've missed you.
I know I've missed you guys a lot. I know it's been this like weird triple whammy of like full-time job and child and time zones. I haven't been around much, and I apologize for that. I've missed you
Don't
guys
apologize.
so much. I feel like so much has happened in like Google world and just in the past couple of months. I feel like I'm so behind. But things are good. I'm rocking a Pixel.
That was
Nice.
the most important question was that were you still on Android? Because Gina, I don't know if you know the news, but Jason has forsaken us. He's now on iOS, so we're very upset.
I heard. Wow, Jason. I never thought I would see the day.
You even put it up to your face.
iOS.
Oh, let me check my watch. I've got some.
No, that ain't right. That just ain't right.
Luckily it's just temporary. But so Gina, you got the Pixel. What do you think of it? Do you like it?
I love it. I love it. I got to tell you, I was really tempted to go iPhone this time around. Not because I don't have Android, but it's been many years since I've been on iOS. Like for a while, I was doing like 1 year on and 1 year off just to kind of keep, on top of like the industry and how the operating systems were differing. But when I was doing the show, I was all Android. I was super tempted by the iPhone this time around because of the camera, especially. But then the Pixel came out, and I was like, I couldn't stop myself.
The camera is just as good. Oh my god.
Really, it's really, really good. I don't regret it. I love it. I'm digging the Pixel. I didn't get the XL. I got the regular size. Digging it.
So, Gina, by the way, your first episode full time was episode 91.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the hair.
Wow.
Bangs, Jason's hair.
Holy cow.
Ron's sideburns.
Here's a fun fact. I wore that hoodie today.
Wait a minute, you're still wearing that hoodie every day, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Wait,
What's
is it the same hoodie or you keep buying it like from the
It's
same?
the same hoodie. It's the same hoodie.
Good for you.
In this episode, Gina, you say that you're rocking a Galaxy Nexus, as I think we probably all were at that point.
Oh, look at the 7.
Trello.
Yeah.
Trello was Gina's app.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Changed. Wow.
That's
wow,
crazy.
and it's funny because they just got purchased by Atlassian. Yeah,
that's right.
It's crazy.
Full disclosure, sponsor of the network, but yes,
Yep.
They just got bought by Atlassian.
Good purchase by them. Yeah.
Indeed.
Galaxy
Indeed.
Nexus 7, of course, also, which we were all. I mean, that ship lasted a long time. Logitech Review, remember that one?
Oh wow, the TV box, right? Yeah.
Oh, that thing was terrible.
Yeah.
Bad, right? In retrospect, right? Like, let's be honest. It was pretty bad, right?
It was.
I mean, you even said it on that first episode. We asked you about you mentioned the review, and you were just like, man, I have to like restart it every couple of, like 2 times every time I want to use it. And
bad relationship. That's how I feel when I think about the Logitech review.
So is this, okay, so
I found the distribution
platform.
numbers for that episode in 2013.
Wow.
Froyo was at 9%.
9%, still holding on there.
Look at the ridiculous disparity between gingerbread, ice cream sandwich, and jelly bean.
Yep.
Things are, I mean,
But things are like
it's just fractured.
That's
in that
yeah,
regard,
but that's I mean, we still see the same.
Oh, for sure.
Pattern.
Well,
Pie
no.
chart
Now the thing is that list is at longer than it was even there. Like we said at the beginning of this, got that hair. I can't concentrate when I see my hair like that.
You know who you look like in this?
What? Who? I'm afraid.
Gaius Baltar from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes. That's a compliment.
No, it is.
He's great.
He has really beautiful hair. So
Did he use an iPhone?
they didn't have smartphones in Battlestar Galactica, did they? I totally forgot.
You know, I'm
6 was his robot doing his bidding.
That's true.
And let's see here. So episode 91, your last full-time. Oh, I didn't write the episode number down, but it was January 13th, 2015. So you were.
Sorry. It's pretty close.
Yes.
Oh wow, so we're just about at the 2-year anniversary of Gina departing.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's good, Jason.
That's awesome. Good job, Brian.
Yeah, so Gina, you were two solid years, and then that was 2015. So 2 years. Well, I can't do math apparently. I can't.
2 years.
But 2 years on, 2 years off. So we'll make room at the table for when you come back, and it'll be 4 of us at the table.
A third of All About Android was helmed by Gina Trapani. That's awesome. So
yeah.
I'm proud, very proud to say that. I really,
and I'm proud to step in your shoes. Gosh darn it.
You're proud to wear the spectacles that Gina does not own.
I am.
It's left behind the Google Glass. No,
that's right. Gina's era was Google Glass. Flo's era is Snap spectacles.
Yes.
That's how
I'm
it works.
sorry for what my people have done to this generation.
You're killing it, Flo.
And I'm wearing my T-shirt from Molotov's, where the Google Glass incident happened.
Oh, what? This is all coming around.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
It really is.
Can I just go on the record, by the way, with the whole getting rid of the headphone jack nonsense? that early on I'm a supporter of it. I think it's the way to go. I hate the dongles, but we got to move forward, and I kind of agree. So there you go. I'm glad HEC is gonna take the hit.
No, Flo, don't say anything. Ron deserves silence right now.
Says the man who switched to the iPhone 7. Well, get out of here.
Well, I did go home last night with my new iPhone 7, and then this morning want to listen to something.
What did your wife say?
Oh, she changed the subject. That's what she did.
Wow.
This morning I wanted to listen to something, but I had no dongle, so I couldn't.
Dongle life.
So basically, Megan Maroney and I, we do Tech News Today on the network. We've been planning for months at some point to do an official switch. I've only ever lived with Android in my smart device world, my smartphone world, for however many years it's been at this point. Megan has had Android in her past, but she's been dedicated to iOS platform the last 2 or 3 years and couldn't possibly fathom, I imagine, I'm expecting would be her words, to switch over to Android. But we wanted to try and live a month in the other person's shoes. So I have her iPhone 7 and Apple Watch. She has my Google Pixel phone and
Moto 360.
First generation Moto 360, which is kind of
Are you trying
humorous.
to make us lose in this equation?
It's the only one I got. It's the wearable I have. The only other wearable I have is like that initial Samsung one, which I'm not going to do that.
No.
I think between the two, Moto 360 wins.
I actually like the nature of the swap. I like the Freaky Friday aspect of it. It's just you couldn't have waited a week.
No, you do it when the time is right, and the time is now.
It's right after CES.
Well,
exactly.
And then the silver lining is hopefully by the end of this adventure, we will embrace you back with our green Android arms, and we will have converted Miss Maroney.
One would think, however, I have noticed ever since I've started with iOS that I'm really popular here at work. Lots of people want to talk to me, and
that's what happens when you buy an Apple
we stand around and we talk about like what you can do with your phone.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm probably not the first person to point this out, Jason, but AAA, so All About Android, also works for All About Apple. You don't even have to rename the show.
Great idea.
Let's not put any ideas in his head here. Come on.
Wait a minute. Okay, stop. Full stop. When did this happen? When did that happen? Okay, I did not do that. And I actually honestly have no idea who did it. So someone did it while I was busy reading something, or I don't know what happened.
I didn't see it happen.
Done. Go away.
That's the OG iPhone in box. Oh, it's gone now.
Yeah, get rid of that. Send it back to where it belongs.
I hope there was no phone in there. No, you know what? I hope there was a phone in there. Yeah.
Jason may be a trader, but don't worry. We're still bringing you the same Android news.
I am not a trader.
You see, that's what I like about Android news is that it even tells the tough stories with an honest point of view. You can always trust the Android news announcer.
Jeez. It just cuts
in this
to the
uncertain
core.
world, there's one thing we can count on.
In Android news, you trust.
Cuts to the core. It hurts. It hurts.
The godfather of Android is ready to grace us with his presence. Mr. Andy Rubin is back on the scene. As we found out.
Hey, Andy.
There he is. Yeah, hey, Andy. There you go.
Going, Andy?
Welcome to the show. Nice to come on.
It's good to see you, Andy. Your jib jab moves a lot faster than Hiroshi's. I'm not sure why that is.
He was way more energetic. Yeah. I also don't think Andy looks like this anymore.
I don't think so.
Based off the last photos I saw of him recently, this is like a 5-year-old photo.
Yeah, it is.
But so news of Andy Rubin's new event, and Andy Rubin would say the company to be announced sometime soon will be called Essential. According to there he is. So Bloomberg sources are reporting that Andy Rubin's new company is called Essential, and it's going to have a suite of consumer hardware products, including mobile and smart home devices, and a platform to tie it all together. Rubin discussed the company's centerpiece at CES, which is a bezel-less smartphone. So drink if you had bezel-less on your bingo card.
Right.
One model has a screen larger than the 5.5 inch, but smaller than the iPhone 7 Plus due to lack of bezels. They're also toying with metal edges and ceramic builds. They're developing a proprietary connector to allow for battery charge and feature expansion. So great, another proprietary connector.
But feature expansion, Ron.
Yeah, and those features would be like an external camera for 360 photos, things like that would allow that. No word on whether or not it will run Android or not, and it is aimed at the top of the market, and it's expected to go on sale mid-2017 with a price close to the iPhone 7, like around $650. And it's important to note that Playground Global is Andy Rubin's startup incubator, which is focused on AI, robotics, augmented reality, things like that. And Rubin is focused on AI being the next major computer platform. So whether or not Essential is coming out of Playground Global is to be determined, or if it was a separate endeavor, if they're leveraging any of that stuff. But either way, Andy Rubin's coming back, and the Essential phone is going to be the phone that we all need. The question, though, Jason, is that if it doesn't run Android, do we pay it any mind on this show?
Well, I guess once we find that out, we probably pay it about as much mind as we pay like Tizen devices and smartwatches. Passing note, tangentially related. In another kind of example of innovation, or remains to be seen, ZTE crowdsourced features for its upcoming phone. And we talked, I think, about this a few months back when they were talking about doing this. And now the Kickstarter for Project CSX, a.k.a. Hawkeye, is live. CSX stands for Crowdsource X. The crowd, as it were, voted on their favorite features that they wanted ZTE to build into their next phone. This is one feature. You can stick it to a surface. So basically,
weird.
Yeah, so strange.
The future.
Well, no, they're showing the eye tracking.
Right,
That's what they're using.
But another part of it is the fact that it sticks to any surface. So basically the whole point is that people voted for hands-free use. We want a device that you can use completely hands-free. So
on the subway, you stick it to the person in front of you. Oh, I see how this works now.
Yeah, see, no one will take it. No one will remove it from that person.
Stick it on their back. It's fine.
So eye tracking, obviously technology to follow what you're looking at and swiping, and I would love to see it in action before I judge it. But man, I can't imagine that working very well, because you're looking at things to read, not looking at things to navigate. And how is one detected but the other is not? Like false positives on, right, you wanted to switch to the other page. No, I didn't. I needed to read to the edge. Like, how does that work?
I don't know, but
how does that work, Ron?
I have no idea, but I love the idea that they're crowdsourcing these features. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Because the internet can always be trusted when it comes to crowdsourcing things.
This is like the Homer car to me. It's like you get all these cool ideas, you put them in a phone, and then you're like, What? I don't even know why people want this. You want to stick your phone to things and then have it move with your eyes? I mean, I'm sure there's a use case for this, but yeah, it's eluding me.
Put down those spectacles before they get scratched. But you don't have to worry about that with Android news.
What I want to know is if Brian had an Android news bit prepared and he's like, no, I'm going to go with the spectacles, or if you just, okay.
No, I was going to go with the pre-show stuff that we had done, but I figured, keep it in the show, let people know what we're talking about.
Yes, because if you want to see the pre-show, you have to come watch the pre-show.
That's bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be something like children approved or for all ages kind of thing, Android news.
I am a Google Voice user, have been for many years. And
me too.
Then I looked
Samesies.
Yeah, all of us?
Yeah.
Ish? Yeah. I looked out the window and I saw pigs flying. And I said, whoa. 5 years later, they finally updated
I can't
Google
believe
Voice.
it, yeah.
This is Petaluma.
Yeah, there's pigs flying everywhere in Petaluma.
I'm sorry.
more like sheep and goats and
true.
cows
no,
flying.
That's true.
But
Sorry,
no
you're
goats.
right.
No goats. No goats.
No. Mateo's nowhere to be seen, so let's not.
You say goat too many times, Matteo will just appear behind you, Jason.
with a cowboy hat and
be careful. Yeah, that horrible American flag shirt. Oh, all right.
We love you, Matteo.
You know what else I have fond memories of?
What?
Being young. If you want to be young, you could download B2, the Chinese app that many have used to post anime-style selfies, which you may have seen pop up in your Facebook timelines and your Twitter timelines and your Instagram timelines. But those people, they didn't really know what they were getting into when they were downloading Meitu, because many took the app to task for the large number of permissions it asked for, including device model, resolution, Android OS version, MAC address, IMEI. That's like the key to your heart, right?
That's crazy.
And more. Meitu has existed for 8 years, and it's only just now, quote unquote, penetrated the Western market like this. Who decided to put penetrated in this? Jason.
Hey, I do a lot of research for this show. I'm sorry I got one word wrong.
This is an adult show. China has rules as of August 1st, 2016 that require developers to authenticate the identity of users, which is why it's asking you for all this darn information about your IMEI.
True.
This will tie online profiles to other identifiable information. So China knows you are trying to be young.
So this is, so I didn't, of course, I'm an old person, but yes, there it is. I was going to say who fell for this. And unfortunately, it looks like our good friend Jason, who
did
should
it for
know
science.
better.
I did it for science.
So, Jason, when you downloaded and installed it, did you even pause to look at the permissions?
Well, I downloaded and installed it on iOS, and what I realized in doing that is that you don't really get a view when you download and install unless somebody can point out something that I'm missing. But there is no way to really see. These are all the things you need
because
when you're downloading on the phone.
So that's because iOS and Android use a different paradigm for permissions. So iOS, it asks you when you want access to that thing as a developer, then it pops up to the user at that moment.
Right. That's right.
Whereas Android, you basically do it at the beginning as soon as you download.
You see it at the beginning, but you still get per.
They've added that in the last couple of versions of Android too for certain types of permissions, like I think location, for instance.
But did you know that it was reading your IMEI?
Well, from what I understand on iOS,
it's not Jason's IMEI. Let's point that out also.
It's a good point. Although Megan did install this on my Pixel, so we did each other in. Sorry, I gotta line this up properly.
This is creepy.
Yeah, this is a little weird. I gotta not look at it while I talk because I just Well, Brian,
for audio listeners, we're looking at Jason's anime face, and it's disturbing. You kind of look like Queen Amidala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I have 8 lipsticks you could use if we really want to go there. I used to practice that lipstick look in the mirror.
Joining us, as always, we're super thrilled to welcome Matteo Doni. How's it going, Matteo? Matteo. Where is Matteo?
I'm afraid to do his accent because I really don't want to butcher it. I really don't want to butcher the accent.
Are we sure that goats didn't get him on the way up? That's the thing. Was there some sort of goat ambush or something? Yeah, that might have happened.
The goat got his goat.
Goat ambush.
But a bunch.
Okay, so before the show, we were like, let's just start the show and do a bit. This is what a bit is. This is what happens when we do a bit, all right? Next time, we will think twice about doing a bit.
No, I like doing a bit.
Okay, all right. Well, we can always, anytime we have a question for Matteo, we can always show this video of goats.
They're just
many
standing
of them
in the tree. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the tree where Yoshi gets all the little apples in Super Mario World, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
That's where you go to refill. Mm-hmm. Get your refill of goats. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where you can get your goat. So Matteo, I'm sure he's stuck in traffic right now, but he'll be here. Don't worry.
On the way. It'll be worth it, right?
Yeah.
Every minute with Matteo is a gift.
It is.
That's true.
It's also a gift. He's also bringing me a gift.
Oh, really? What's he bringing you?
Deodorant.
Oh, that's right. See, you told me this in pre-show. I authentically forgot.
Wait a minute. I saw your tweet, Flo. I saw your tweet about that. I didn't know it was Matteo that was doing it. Wow.
Yes.
Well
He's
done.
a great friend.
It's really too bad that he isn't bringing everyone deodorant. Who knows? He might just walk in with more deodorant.
I love European deodorant, and I can't find it here.
What is the thing with? I don't understand.
It's
why.
just it doesn't it doesn't mess with my clothes. It just works really well with my body. I don't know.
It has an accent that makes it sound smart.
No, but they have different requirements. You know, like all the not magnesium, but whatever the metal that's in our there
the stuff that's slowly killing us, basically.
Yes. It doesn't because what happens is women's deodorant will thin out my clothes underneath the armpit, and now you know.
And your European deodorant, who'd have thunk? You can get it at AliExpress, I'm sure, is what he'll tell us.
You do not want to
No,
get
you
that
don't
at
want to go there to
AliExpress,
get your deodorant.
If there ever was a segment that didn't need deodorant, it's Android News.
Segment
because it doesn't stink.
Yeah, this segment in particular is naturally not smelly.
Right.
Until we invent
fresh.
Until we have smell-o-vision.
Balanced. I mean, and there's other HTC news too the last week that we haven't covered that sort of.
Was it the Daydream or the?
No,
I
forget his name.
Sorry, I'll do a dance.
That'll help.
The Frenchman left, and then.
Is this a secret code?
You know,
his name.
the Frenchman left.
The Frenchman left, and the eagle flies at noon. Only when heading west.
Are you talking about the HTC Vive to Daydream?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had that in here earlier, and I removed it because I ran out of space. But
Thank
yes,
you.
There.
French,
and he was one of the. Yes, I
hope
can't
he's
remember his name. So I can't remember
I'm
the
sorry,
French.
we
I can't
forgot
remember
your
the Frenchman's name. But yes, one of HTC's hardware designers did leave.
He did.
HTC Vive project to go to Google for Daydream.
And today, Jason McKenzie, I believe, also said that he's leaving.
But he's not a Frenchman.
No, he's not.
Okay.
But he was the head of HTC America.
With a name like Mackenzie.
Which kind of, okay, so then I think the bigger picture thing is,
And I hope I'm
wow,
wrong.
HTC really isn't holding on to people, are they? Like big people that have
Which
a lot
is
of
why
influence over
this
their
news
product
isn't.
design.
Well, this news is just saying, like, stop looking at these rumors. Like, give us a break right now. We're kind of trying to.
We're really trying to hold this ship together.
We're trying to do what we can right now.
Yeah.
A friend of the show shared something on Twitter with me, which is an app for buying shoes online. Goat.
It's called Goat.
It's called Goat. It's a US one. Sadly, I don't live in the US, so I can't order shoes through Goat.
Do you want me to order shoes for you?
No, thanks. I'm fine for shoes. We actually have too many
I owe
at the
you
moment.
for the deodorant. So you know.
Great, we'll sort that out later.
Yes. It's out there.
It's already out there.
Yes, I'm the unofficial deodorant dealer for Twit.tv.
I didn't know you were dealing deodorant.
It's good deodorant,
So
guys.
awkward.
America, get on board.
Once you've taken a sniff.
Get on board with the rollerball, America. I'm just saying. No more of this sticky stuff.
Oh, dear.
But in general, I'm more engaged with Android than I am with iOS, and that's a personal preference thing. When you get down to the technology, they both do almost the same exact stuff. They just do it a little bit differently. Sometimes a lot differently. Sometimes it's the exact same. And that's just the way it is. I think
that's a great thing, Jason. What are you engaged to? I'm engaged to this platform.
Android and I have been married for 5 years now.
I'm so happy for you guys. I mean, you're making it work, Jason. You know, you're adapting, you're compromising. You know, you keep it spicy every now and then.
We talk a lot.
That's why you're changing up partners.
Yep.
I mean,
oh, jeez, no.
I've got like
too far, Flo.
3, 4, 5 different Android partners every single year. Yeah, I'm always changing.
You truly are you belong in the Bay Area, Jason, with that attitude.
Not quite how I thought this segment would end, but hey, there we go.
Leave it to us.
The great Twitch switch is over, and we realize we can all get along, even if Android's better. It's now time for the news.
Booyah!
It's a hopeful message from the Android newsman. I love it.
Thank you, Android newsman.
Yes.
Whether or not you have a special someone, we've got what you love, and it's called Android News.
Before we get started, as we mentioned at the top of the show, it is Valentine's Day, and here we are, and I can't think of anybody so Jason, I got you a Valentine. All right, but then I was like, well, I can't just get Jason.
Yours, Ron.
I just can't get Jason a Valentine, a little Android Valentine there. So Brian, I got you a little something. Since we both have Twin Peaks. Yeah, so there you go. So
answer is
in there too.
Will you be my special agent, Brian?
And
the
then,
answer is yes.
Oh, yes. And so then I was like, well, I can't get Jason and Brian want to not get Flo a Valentine. So Flo, here's my very special Valentine for you.
Oh my gosh!
902. 90210 Valentine for those
It's
audio
Emily
listeners.
Valentine with
it
Jason
says-
with the
with a shirtless
yes.
Jason Priestley.
Yes, exactly.
with Brandon Walsh.
Yes, but
This
then
is after
I was
they
like,
did
all right.
Euphoria.
Yeah, that was a great episode. But then I was like, oh, but I don't want to leave Liam out. So Liam, I got you a Valentine, and it's a very
can't wait.
special.
Amazing.
That is
I got you a
very
Valentine's card.
it's a very material / Google Nowy Valentine's card.
I love
That's
it.
so nerdy.
So there you go. So happy Valentine's Day, my Android friends. From my heart to
Ron,
yours.
you are the best.
Wow.
I just purely I had the original idea to make you guys Valentines, and I got all giggly. But when I realized Liam was on the show and I found the material design card spec, I was like, oh, this is great.
I have to do this.
I'll decorate
there you
for
go.
Liam. There we go. Just keep that
Oh,
up there.
perfect. If you could just keep that in the background of Liam's shots. We're designing your wall for you, Liam. I hope you don't mind. Brian, it's time for the news.
It may be a slow news week, but just like Voltron, we've pulled something together. And it's called Android News.
Excellent.
And
That
good
was
news.
low-hanging fruit. Excellent.
Thank you.
And I can't think of anything better to move on to than our friend of the show, Hiroshi, teasing us a little. You know, we finally got used to how to say nougat or nougat, whatever. But it's time to start thinking about the next version and what it will be called. Hiroshi Lockheimer, friend of the show, is the master dessert troll on Twitter. He put up this image of an Oreo cake.
Android diabetes?
I love Oreos so much. Not the new Oreos, but these Oreos featured right here.
I enjoy Oreos as well, but actually there is a Oreo flavor version of a cookies and cream ice cream with Oreos in it. That is like, I will always go to that in the freezer at the supermarket. That is fantastic.
What brand? I gotta know.
I think they made part of Breyers or some ice cream, but it's like cookies and cream with Oreos, and it's amazing. So, but so that said,
dang, I'm hungry.
let's go around the table with what we think Android O will be called.
Man, I would need to prepare for this. Father Robert.
Well, I'm not going to go with the obvious. It ain't going to be Oreos.
Yeah, I do not think
I'm going to give it to you right now. You ready?
Go.
Oatmeal cookie.
Huh?
Oatmeal raisin.
I could
Why would
go
it
with
be
an
that
oatmeal
boring?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I could go with an oatmeal cookie. I like oatmeal cookies.
Really?
Orange
They're not a
juice?
dessert. They're half a health food.
Ooh, health food can be a dessert.
Yeah.
This is Google. This is the Google lawn we're talking about. You're really going to see an oatmeal cookie there with like all these other tasty treats that, you know.
Hey,
spike
listen.
your blood sugar.
You give me a choice of a cookie, and I will go for an oatmeal raisin cookie probably right after the chocolate chip. Like it's up there. It's definitely up there.
I like an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Not even a snickerdoodle. You wouldn't pick a snickerdoodle
I don't
over
like
an oatmeal?
I don't like snickerdoodle.
I'm actually a fan
Or a
of
white
oatmeal.
chocolate macadamia.
See, I'm having a hard time finding desserts online. There's got to be some.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like that's easy, but maybe not. Maybe we're going to be in the same nougat world. Like
Maybe they'll
I feel
skip
like, I feel like with N, there really were not many options, and they had to settle for nougat. But that's my own personal biases coming through, I guess.
So just go ahead, just pop one of these in your ear.
One, yeah. Lucky you, I just cleaned my ears.
So, I mean, can you pair more than one so you can have like some friends who are getting the
okay.
wrist rocking experience?
Shared.
I hope this isn't really loud. So I'm going to start playing this song.
Okay, I'm hearing the song.
Okay.
It's Plinky Plonky.
Are you
I'm starting
feeling?
to feel a
Okay,
slight.
so
you don't hear
can,
the song. Only I do, by the way.
Yeah, so you can
listeners.
adjust the intensity
Okay.
with the buttons up and down. So adjust it. Every
I'm turning
press.
it at full blast.
Yeah.
Go full
Okay.
intensity.
Oh man, my wrist is shaking.
Is it? And it's
Yeah.
shaking along to the bass,
It
right?
is, yeah,
Hold on,
it's
I'm gonna
shaking.
pop in here and see what you're listening to.
I can hardly even like keep my hands still.
It's a John Cougar Mellencamp music, actually.
Oh, it's really shaking.
Is it just shaking your wrist or your entire body via your wrist?
It's just shaking my wrist.
Okay, so try it. Flip it over and try it on your veins.
Oh man,
It's
is that
supposed to
gonna
be.
go in my body?
It's supposed to be like a more
So now
intense.
you're like unsing your your circulatory system.
My circulatory system is shaking on my wrist.
So this is designed
Are you
for.
feeling the music though? For real?
No, I'm feeling. Well, yeah.
Are you feeling it?
Yeah, I'm feeling it on my wrist. Like I feel like I need it rumbling
You want it against your chest?
I don't know. It's just not my. It's just.
So it's supposed to mimic the feel of when you're standing like next to a big subwoofer and you're just like, just like in the bass.
It's supposed to simulate that, or is it supposed to simulate the feeling of holding your wrist up to the subwoofer?
I mean.
Okay, for our audio listeners out there, right now Jason is wearing this thing and his entire body is vibrating. Just imagine that. It's like he's a blur. There you go. See, it's just exactly.
I wish you could hear the song right now. It's so weird.
You can use
really weird.
It's not that weird. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now.
Here,
all right, audio
here's
listeners.
The music. Let's see if we can.
That's good stuff. Oh.
Oh
yeah. That. But on your wrist.
Okay,
I can't hear Ron.
Right now, I'm thinking this was not really designed to be on my wrist.
Wait, is it still shake? Oh yeah. Oh wow. Wow. It's going. Wait, what happened? I'm gonna put it on the desk. Sorry, everybody. Oh, you still can't hear it. Oh wait.
Here, we'll go ahead and put it over here so Brian can take the camera. This is to prove that it's actually doing something.
Yeah. It's running away.
Walking away.
Come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next $1 billion IPO.
Oh. That's brilliant. We got to ask him the most important question as anyone at MWC. How much jamon have you had on this trip so far?
So much jamon. I have a supply in the fridge. I had jamon in a cone walking down the street the other day, walking into the city centre. Everywhere you go, at all the events, there's jamon. If I have any more jamon and bagels or jamon on toast with tomato grated on top, I may very well turn into acorn-fed ham.
Don't say too much about the jamon. Ron might actually pass out, and we won't have him for the rest of the show.
Have you considered probiotics?
I literally know where heaven is, and it's Barcelona.
Yeah, fairly.
Jamon in a cone? That's genius.
Jamon in a cone.
Oh my gosh, Ron, you should make that into a food truck in New York City. The kids will go crazy over it.
That would do very, very well. Although food trucks are over, but we could do a pop-up. That's what's in now. So wow, I am not only am I jealous, Duncan, of all the cool phones and all the cool Android pins you've gotten, but the jamon on a cone, that's just like life. That's fantastic.
Today, Kara has nothing to say. It's Android.
That really took me by surprise, Burke. I did not
Wow,
realize that you
Kara.
were standing back there.
It took me by surprise.
I was like, wow, Kara's really got this down.
I know. Oh, it's
That's not Kara. Okay, fine, Kara. You win this time. And thank you, Burke, for stepping up to the plate.
Thank you.
Chris wrote in, or /Chris as he signed it, with a little constructive criticism for the show. Jason Flo, I hope you're sitting down. Chris says, hello. Don't you think it's a bit silly to call famous people, i.e. Evleaks, the Google employee, and so on, friends of the show because they were on your show one time? Do you do the same IRL? It's very cringe, IMO. It's so obvious you do it because they are famous.
In air quotes.
Well, Chris, do you think it's a bit silly not to pick up on irony and jokes? Because sometimes I do too.
But you guys, when I meet a person for the first time, they instantly become my friend. I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying.
We're a very loving bunch.
Listen,
we're a very loving bunch.
Up against the wall.
I'd like to be a friend of the show.
Duncan is a friend of the show.
Yeah.
Duncan, you are more than a friend of the show. Duncan, you are a
You don't sleep for us. You're definitely more than a friend.
Exactly. You're more than a friend. I would go to third base with you, Duncan. What I mean
third
is,
base in podcasting terms, right?
Yes, third
right,
base in
Ron?
podcasting.
Okay.
But Chris, I appreciate the constructive criticism despite your use of IRL and IMO in email text. But we're just having some fun, and I bet you Hiroshi would proudly consider himself a friend of the show. So
because I guarantee you one thing, Chris. Every time we say friend of the show, we have a really big smile on our face because we know how ridiculous it is to say that.
Yeah,
but it's just part of the fun.
The people we call friends of the show, if he sees you at Google I/O, he's gonna say hello to you.
Yeah, and I'll say hello to him, sure. Then I'll be like, he said hello to me.
Yes, exactly.
So there you go.
Yeah, we're just having fun, Chris. I'm having fun. I had some fun with that email. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of your IRL and IMO, but yeah, it's just a joke.
Wade County proposes a new show title. I would go third base with you, Duncan. We'll think about that. We'll think about
that. Sounds like a great idea.
Listen,
Put it down. Put it down. I'm putting it down. If you won't.
All I gotta say is Duncan eats hamon. He's not sleeping. I mean, it's a very good match.
He's done all. Yes, it's a good match. It's a good match.
Listen, my girlfriend might get upset, so let's keep it.
Third base in podcast terms, all right, is very different from the third base you guys are all thinking about. Okay, and real quick here.
Stack of comics and a pinball machine here, Ron.
What, Duncan, you are speaking my language.
Jeez, the hits keep coming. All right, Brian, we're not going to leave you in the dark here. You're going to get your chance to give us the news.
It might be a slow new week. Hold on. Sorry,
it's okay.
I just ate a bunch of pretzels.
The pretzel excuse. I've heard that one before.
All right, let me try that again. It might be a slow news week, but that won't stop us from launching into Android news.
Oh, no, it won't. Second time is a charm. Appreciate the redo.
I'm just all over the place
I
tonight.
spoke too soon. It's okay. You're forgiven. All right. We've got a whole lot more of awesome clips to go ahead and show you. But before we do that, we need to take some time to thank the sponsor of this episode of All About Android. We're super happy that GoToWebinar is sponsoring this episode. GoToWebinar is the webinar platform that's hosted 2.7 million interactive web events with over 60 million views per year. GoToWebinar believes that webinars are one of the best ways to interact with your prospects and your customers instead of business presentations or company websites. With GoToWebinar, you can create custom email invitations, confirmations, and reminders, or you can even just kind of let GoToWebinar handle all that stuff with automated email templates. Display your company logo, of course, your custom image for all of your webinar materials. You want to keep things branded to your business. You can create and schedule pre-recorded webinars that are as interactive as live events. So people who are watching on the other side might not even know that it's pre-recorded, because they're still able to get in there and interact with it. Mobile friendly. You can schedule a webinar, edit a session, or track performance. You can do all of this from your iOS or your Android device to make it really easy to do that. You can also create up to 20 polls before the session or on the fly for audience interaction. And you can add up to 20 questions to a survey and engage participants with Q&A along the way. Also, talk about engagement. You can engage your audience with more than one presenter and panelist. Up to 6 presenters can share their webcams and participate face-to-face. And you can broadcast a view of your desktop or even a specific application if there's something that you really want to show off inside of an app. And with GoToWebinar's reporting and analytics, you're just a click away from qualified leads, metrics, and data to improve webinars. Not to mention, it's encrypted, 128-bit end-to-end AES encryption, and it's rated #1 in customer satisfaction. Turn your next presentation into a conversation with GoToWebinar. For more information, visit gotowebinar.com/podcast. That's gotowebinar.com/podcast. And we thank GoToWebinar for their support of All About Android. And with that, it's time to jump back in. We've got a whole bunch more moments all queued up and ready to go. Oh, I'm sorry. I was drinking out of my All About Android mug. Welcome to All About Android. This is episode 309, recorded on Tuesday, March 14th, 2017. That was totally very last second decision there. It was poorly executed.
Were you about to take a swig of coffee and the show started? Is that what happened?
You were also holding it in a very awkward manner, by the way.
As I stated, it was super last second. It was like, oh, it's coming to, it didn't work. I didn't get there in time.
Also, Jason, I know it's been a while since you've edited this show, but you're not actually on screen at that part. That's all covered.
Keep it in. Keep it in, Brian. I don't care. It doesn't matter. We're your weekly source for the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. I'm Jason Howell.
Ron Richards.
I'm Florence Ion.
Yeah, I could have planned that a little bit better. I think in my brain I thought that the logo was on one side, so I had to be like this. But it's on both. See? If you go to twit.tv/store, you too can get an All About Android mug.
You can.
It just took us about 3 months into 2017 to identify our first clip for the best of.
Yeah.
So everyone mark this down. March 14th, best of 2017 just happened.
Oh man, what was I thinking?
Whether you prefer a hot or cold beverage, be sure to do it in an All About Android mug. Now it's time for Android news.
And that it is. So
see, now that's much better, Jason. Well done.
That's smooth.
That
Just
is
like
better.
the flavor of whatever beverage you're consuming right now.
It's delicious.
It's coffee.
Sorry.
At 6 p.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I realized actually while you guys were talking just a few minutes ago, I felt that like coffee buzz where it like it maybe went a little too far.
Oh no.
So I'm trying to come down. Slow.
I shouldn't have watched the Kelly Taylor episode of the drug addiction before this.
Online payments is nothing new. In fact, me dodging the bill when I go out to dinner with friends is nothing new either. But what is new is that now I can pay those friends back for picking up the tab through the Gmail app, which is now integrating payments using Android Pay. So you can add an attachment, select pay money, then attach the dollar amount and send. Basically, any user can receive, no Gmail is required. And when you think about it, Gmail's got over 1 billion users, so it's almost everybody's on it.
Yeah.
But with no need for
everyone owes someone.
Yeah, exactly. But with no need for a Google account, this could be a huge competition for Venmo, Square Cash, PayPal, all the other kind of services that people use to pay each other back when they dodge the bill. Currently, it's U.S. only for now, but that makes sense because I feel like we're the ones who are dodging the bill the most. So good
the
job on
Android
Google.
users?
Yeah, no, just Americans, U.S. That's all. So so this is nice to be able to do it on Android through the Gmail app. That's pretty cool. You could do this in Gmail on the web for a while, but having it on the go, that's that much easier.
I can't wait for the
very cool.
inevitable email chains to come out between all my friends. Hey, everybody, remember that we had brunch on Saturday and everybody...
You remember that?
Do you remember everybody got Benedict, eggs Benedict? I need you guys to pay for that, please.
I was just going to say, whenever we go out for a movie night, it's, like you always have that, like, oh, what is it? The arc light, it's like $15. Oh, no, I've got like a 20. Can you break it? And I hope this makes this easier. I worry that it's going to make it more complicated to get
Every time I see those emails, I'm going to be like, oh, God, she's asking for money again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gmail. I always say that the point of adulthood is when you stop itemizing the bill when it comes and everybody just splits it.
Yeah.
Just like whatever. Just whatever.
Thank you,
just pay
Ron.
it. Just pay it.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you know what? Sometimes I
Find
even
me
say
out
that
of
to
my
my
friends'
friends.
days.
Let's all be adults here.
Yep, exactly. And like when you get the one person's like, well, I didn't drink anything. And
well, I'm sorry you don't drink. That's not my problem. We all drank wine.
So I mean, but it's also like part of the grown up thing because like I don't drink heavy, like if I have a bourbon for the course of a whole evening, but then I'm the guy who's always like, hey, do you guys want to split like 6 different apps? Because like
I do that too. Right. That's why people hate taking me out.
You drink, you do you. I'll do me. I do me, and we'll be good. But we're gonna have a lot of food and a lot of drink at this table, and it's gonna
cost a lot of money. Just accept it, and we're all splitting.
And we're gonna split it all thanks to Google and Gmail.
So we may know everything about the Samsung event, but find out what you don't know upcoming in Android news.
Or what you already know about Android O, because that's what we're leading with. You guys already know all about it.
Can I just say, I really, really am looking forward to when it is officially announced that it is Android Oreo, and we can stuff our faces with all the different varieties of Oreos that are available at the supermarket.
Now, do you think they're going to go with Oreo? Is that the latest rumor of it? The trademark name?
I hope so. I want to dunk it in milk.
I think it would be a delicious treat, no doubt. I don't think they're going with Oreo.
Really?
I think it's gonna be orange sherbet.
I think it'll be something with orange. I could even see them just going straight up orange.
What about Orange Dream? What if they call it Orange Dream and
Come on! I can't believe we're missing the obvious one. It's gonna be oatmeal cookie.
Oh.
Could be.
Nobody thinks about oatmeal cookies.
What is the notification icon for an oatmeal cookie? Like a bumpy circle?
Yes. Yeah, it's like I'll be honest with you guys. I will gladly put down $2 for an oatmeal raisin cookie any day of the week.
No, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
That makes you guys better people than me because all I do is eat chocolate.
Well, it's not Android C, is it?
Oh, see, that looks delicious.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I'd dump those out on the table when it's announced and eat them throughout the show.
Before we move on, let's do our official kind of predictions. So Flo says Oreo. Jason says orange.
I say orange.
And I'm going to go with oatmeal raisin.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I feel like we need to write this down somewhere.
Yeah, we'll remember. We'll remember.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we are the ones that chose our own. So everyone, we are tasked with remembering the thing that we said, okay? I'll remember my thing if you remember yours. All right.
Sounds good.
I'm truly afraid that I'm uncertain if I really liked the Note 7. It's hard to think of anything else that, you know how when you have that that love in your life when you're young and really made an impression on you, you really fell hard for them. And it's just like nobody else compares to that person, and it takes such a long time to move on. That's how I feel about the Note 7. I feel like it's going to take a really long time for me to move on and truly accept any other Samsung device in my heart. And I mean this with all sincerity, by the way, because the Note 7 was so good.
It was very good.
You're really pouring it out here right now.
It was. I have a lot of feelings about this.
I can tell.
All right, let's move on.
Thank you guys for letting me work it out here today on All That
Good.
Android.
I'm happy we could be some help. It's okay. Just feel the music for a second.
We're just feeling the music right now.
Maybe we can.
So
You
good.
guys hear my phone? This microphone's amazing.
Oh yeah.
We have Ron dancing.
He's happy. Yeah. How did we have this all set up and now it's just not working for me?
Oh no. Will this affect the performance of my app in the arena?
No, but it shouldn't, because we had it going before the show and we were recording that. So we should. What we should do is play a little bit. The unfortunate thing is that is pink. But if you want to see what it's like to be synced up, check this out from the pre-show right now. So.
Well, apparently I can send you an aloe to join my awesome party. Can you hear it? I'm having a party.
Let's see here. So I have the app installed. It uses location. Okay. Oh. This artist called Pink.
Okay, we got it.
Never heard of her.
Never heard of her.
The problem is I'm not a Spotify subscriber. I'm going to see if logging into Spotify, even though I'm not a paid subscriber, works.
Oh, I didn't end the party. It's still going.
Okay.
Not ending the never-ending party.
Now I stopped it.
Wasn't that awesome? That was Pink. Pink is so cool.
I don't know. I think Underworld is a bit cooler.
Okay, all right, fine, whatever. Pinky Tuscadero on Twitter did a mashup of the All About Android podcast art with characters from Archie comics, and it kind of works. Although Ron, you took issue with being Jughead.
Yeah. No, I said, well, I'm likely Jughead, so that's fine. I like Jughead. I do like burgers, so that's fine. I'm willing to. I'm going to own that.
Jughead was my favorite character when I was a kid.
Jughead's pretty good. Jughead's great on the new Riverdale show. He's one of the best characters.
Oh, I need to jump on that.
Flo, you need to jump into that.
I got
it's right up your alley. You're missing out on Luke Perry every week.
I was big into Archie comics when I was a kid.
Well, springtime is here, so lend us your ear and watch Android News.
Over here.
Sure. It's been a while. It's been a while since we had a rhyming news bit.
I know.
It's good, Brian.
I forgot
well
how
done.
much I've missed it.
Yeah, I feel like rhyming should be a prerequisite now. Like he's figured out the Android News intro. Now you make them all rhyme from here on out.
Man, you guys are setting the bar high for this.
Hey, man, you showed up. You got to take the challenge.
You were busy with building your case.
Yeah, you were. Oh,
okay.
by the way, we didn't show that off. Do you want to show it off real quick?
Sure.
And explain how you two can build this monstrosity.
Oh my gosh. Florence,
This
what have you done?
It is
Ron is
three-dimensional.
so disappointed. It is a Kapo-chan or Decoden case, whatever you want to call it. These are very popular on Etsy.
Oh, show it there in all of its glory.
So basically, the concept is
Show
you
how
take,
3D it is,
yeah. So there's stuff like popping out of it. As you
my God.
Oh my gosh! It looks like Hello Kitty threw up.
Yes. Speaking of which, she's right down here actually.
Yeah, she's vomiting on your phone.
Oh, that's so meta.
I just, you guys know me and my weird obsession with AliExpress. So I finally pulled the trigger and I bought some of the Decoden, and then I started looking up how to make this. And apparently Mod Podge, the company who does all the like plaster stuff, they sell this stuff that looks like icing that dries like this, and so it comes in a pink and a white variant, and then you just stick the little things in there. That's why I put the ring thing on it so that I can hold it. So if somebody bumps me, it doesn't fall out of my.
Oh, I see. It has to be this hand.
Yeah.
I was disappointed it wasn't edible.
It looks like, but you guys should see what some of the people have made on the internet.
Wait, I'm sorry.
You know what? I will write about this. I will tell you all about it. It's actually quite fascinating, just because it's this DIY network. It's incredibly silly, right? It's silly, but I love it.
Can you still put it in your pocket?
No, I don't put my phone in my pocket anyway. So
yeah,
it's
that
not
would never
really
work
an
for
issue.
me. That would never work for me.
Just all about kawaii now. It's like,
Yeah, I made another one last night, and I've got a couple more.
It's not edible though, right? You
no,
can't
it's
eat
not.
it?
But it's a little soft to kind of feel like icing.
Cool, like if you're waiting at the bus and you're like a little bored and you're like, oh, let's pop up a little cupcake off. And
yeah, I'm so hungry right now for some candy.
This might be a light week, but we're going through the news, so you don't have to. Stick around for Android news.
Okay.
Who wants to sift through their RSS feeds?
Yeah, we do.
Who has time for that?
I ain't got time for that.
Nobody got time for that.
Who still uses RSS feeds?
I do.
What is RSS? Anyways, really. There were a lot of people who were playing around with the device at the announcement who said Bixby obviously not done. They really didn't let us get in there and play around with it.
No,
So
I didn't.
guess
I couldn't
there were
play with it
clues,
either.
right?
I mean,
Yeah, there were clues that they weren't quite there with Bixby, but
yeah,
not
but that
having
wasn't
it at launch.
that wasn't the clue that it would not be here at
Right.
launch.
Yeah.
The clue
in
was
retrospect, it kind of is, but we certainly didn't know that at the time.
Sure, no, precisely. Well, I guess so now apparently you can change the Bixby button if you pre-ordered this phone and are like, well, crap, what am I supposed to do with that other button? Well, maybe you could just press it in case you need a fiddling toy. Instead of buying a fiddling toy, you could just use your
Stress
GS8.
relief.
I have
Just press that button.
Just press it.
I have a fiddling toy.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
What?
It's like
What
a
is
fiddling.
that? My fiddle.
It-
I don't
it's
have a
for people
Bixby.
who fidget.
See, I don't have a Bixby button, so I have to use this.
See? This is what happens when you don't have a Bixby.
Can I see that? I want to fiddle.
Jason's
Okay,
gonna fiddle.
continue. I'm going to play with
He's going to fiddle while I continue.
We just launched Jason for the whole
I know.
show, by the way.
That's it. We're done. That's why they call it a fiddling
Not
toy.
now, I'm fiddling.
Fidget toy.
Fidgeting.
That's so cool.
Fiddling is the actual act of fiddling. I just realized now.
That'll make you go blind, Flo.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
An app called All-in-One Gestures can change the Bixby button with the accessibility services activated. So apparently you can press the Bixby button. It generates some sort of unique code. You press back to exit out of Bixby. You click to add that code, and then you can assign it a new function with this particular app, which you can choose to have Google Assistant pop up when you press it, which is nice.
Or search or whatever.
Yeah. So you can actually use Google.
Which is what you'll probably want to do anyways, right?
Which is what most people.
We don't know yet. Nobody's actually used
That's
Bixby to be
I
able to
know.
give it the full.
I pre-ordered my S8 Plus, so I will definitely give Bixby.
I did too.
a
What
solid,
color did you get?
I got Orchid Gray.
I'm so proud of you.
I'd like to know how
Yay.
many people have bought Samsung devices and have been using Samsung like milk and the Samsung
right.
S Voice. Like how many
Actually using
Samsung Knights are so devoted to Samsung ecosystems that they're actually downloading the apps via the Samsung apps gallery and things like that. Because there's so many people that I've talked to and read anecdotally and the journalists that say the phone is great, but Bixby is such a fidget toy.
Jeez, we really did. We really did lose.
That was good.
We might not. We might not have lost Jason, but we lost Brian for sure.
I don't know. That
Brian
was,
with the wipe.
that was well done. That was a really well done wipe.
For our audio listeners, Jason is playing with Tony's fiddling toy, which is a little spinny device. A spinner that spins on his finger, which is pretty cool. Not as cool as Bixby, or it's probably cooler than Bixby, to be honest with you. So
I never realized I needed one of these, but apparently Bleak might have leaked to it on Ali. Did you get this at AliExpress?
No, but there's a ton that you could buy.
So this is. I learned something. I never knew that there was a whole genre.
They sell them
fidget.
at 7-Eleven now, by the way.
What?
They sell them at 7-Eleven now.
Yeah, you can get them for like $3 on AliExpress, or that one for $90.
Yeah.
This is $90?
Yeah, because it's all brass.
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
For a fidget toy, it's really nice.
You couldn't just melt some pennies.
Jeez, I didn't know this
That's
genre,
copper.
this thing existed.
Oh, Flo.
I feel like I need one.
I was thinking too quickly.
Oh, man, that's so weird. Anyways.
Let's talk about the next story.
Anyways, I would love to be able to give my little Glugen a name of its own.
Everybody has their own cute little word for Google Home.
Okay, Glugen.
What do you... That is good. No one else would choose that. Mine woke up. Oh my goodness! Take this overhead shot. I'm seriously. I'm keeping talking because it's still going right now. Yes, it did. Work.
Oh no! It heard you say
it worked.
Wait a minute, my Google Home isn't working.
Of course.
Wait, let me try. Wait, how do we pronounce this? Guggenflagen?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah, it works. It works.
All right.
Actually works. I mean,
I'm gonna try it on my Google Home. Hang on. All right. Ready? All right. You can't really see it. It's off of the camera. It's over. We move the Google Home. But anyway. It worked.
Yes.
Oh my God! It totally worked.
Everybody in chat is complaining about this too. All right.
I just made that up.
But honestly, I mean, when you take a step back, Guggen is very close to Google.
She just said, "I hope everything is okay." Oh, Guggenflagen, things aren't okay.
Oh, silly Guggenflagen.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I love Google Home so much. You don't understand. It makes me so happy.
I realized, and we're all realizing right now, there are a lot of ways that you can wake Google Home without, or Assistant without actually saying the wake word.
I know.
Somebody needs to compile a list of all the ways you do, because then you do have a million different wake words.
He's been waiting. Brian's been waiting.
Right.
I could see him. He's pacing. He's waiting for his moment. Brian, let's do the news.
If you prefer the top stories of the week, then be sure to listen to Android News.
I see what you did there.
He brought it when I'm back in the studio. I like it. He folded in the guest. It was great.
I like the energy of having Ron back in studio.
see?
I missed it.
Yeah. All right.
I feel sort of, I guess
How do you feel?
Well.
How do you feel, Flo?
I'm not,
okay?
so yeah. I'm very curious to see how it's going to work with the press.
Yeah, there's the big question.
Because I don't want to be that person to take your seat. I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah,
Stop looking at me like that. I already feel really bad.
Because
I was thinking about it.
This isn't a press event.
It's not. No.
Right?
No.
Yeah, it's for developers, so those seats should go to the developers.
No, I agree. I mean,
that's mainly why I stopped going to Google I/O. I mean, I went to a couple of the early Google I/Os when I was still in San Francisco. I was like, I want to defer to the developers. I'm going to take the higher ground. I can watch along at home. It's fine.
I say that about Coachella. I said that about Coachella. I'm going to let the young kids go, the people who want to, waste their money on things.
See, and I said that about Fire Festival, so.
And you missed out on FEMA tents and bologna sandwiches.
Not even bologna. It was lettuce. Lettuce and cheese.
Lettuce.
Oh, man. I love it. By the way, it's hard. I know that story's been in the zeitgeist.
I keep following it too.
But it has everything.
I know.
And I'm fascinated by indulge me. I'm fascinated by the dual, and we were talking about this in Slack, in my work Slack. I'm fascinated by the duality of the fact that people reading along hate both the attendees and the organizers.
Yes.
It's just like, these rich millennials who wanted to go to this festival, and these organizers who ripped them off. It's so much Schadenfreude. On every, I don't feel bad for anybody involved, and it's amazing. It's
the best thing to happen. It's the best tech drama to happen. It's only techie because it involved a startup dude, and you could book it through an app. But anyway,
it's vaguely tech.
Also, you can book your seat through the Google I/O app. So
cool.
Brian, I hope you're ready because it's time to get to a little news first.
Happy birthday to Ron and Flo, but we've got a present for you, and it's called Android News.
You, oh, wow. Diddy keeps...
You put a big smile on my face, Brian. I just want you to know.
Aww.
Go ahead and turn up the audio real quick if you can, Brian. I prepared
What's
something.
going on over there?
I prepared something for Ron and Flo with Diddy. I don't know if you have this ready, but... Totally top-notch happy birthday song for you. Courtesy of Diddy.
That's great. Thank you for the giggle, Jason.
It just played a second time. Sorry about that.
You really do want multiple. What happens is my daughter takes the home physically, unplugs it, and takes it all over the house.
No, really? Home.
I'd love to have one everywhere.
So that's a mobile home, right?
Nice.
Well, it's funny because my girlfriend said, she's like, if we put the Google Home in the bedroom, could we use it as an alarm clock? I was like, yeah, we totally could. Yeah. She's like, oh, so we should move it in there. I was like, well, we can get a second one. And she just looked at me and shook her head. But what's funny is that like my sister has been, they have the Amazon Echo, and they've been buying the little Echo Dot to put in each of my niece's bedrooms, and they use that as their alarm clock, and they have the whole functionality in that little hockey puck. I think if there's a lower cost hockey puck-esque Amazon Echo Dot like Google Home thing that enables that multi-room installation, that would be interesting as well too.
Mm-hmm. The one challenge for you though, Ron, is once the new one comes out and you get it, then you have to figure out like what is the room that doesn't deserve the latest and greatest home.
Luckily
what
enough,
is the room that I poison with my old home?
Luckily enough, we're in a small New York apartment, so it really doesn't matter.
The room is the room that you're in because there's really
pretty much,
only a couple.
It's just basically two rooms, and you can see the other room from the other. It's fine, yeah. So.
Hey, we're here at the very end of our time at Google I/O. At least for me, I know Flo, you've got a few more things to do.
Couple more hours.
We've had a lot of fun at the show. We're about to have even more fun because we get the chance to sit down with some of Google's executives that relate to Android. First up, we've got Dave Burke, VP of Engineering for Android. Thank you for joining us, Dave.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. Also, Stephanie Saad Cuthbertson. I'm going to call you Steph because that's what Dave calls you, if that's okay. Director of Product Management for Android. Thank you for joining us. And then, of course, Samir Samat, VP of Android and Play. It's great to have you here, Samir.
Thanks for having us.
So, okay, first things first. You got something in your hand.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on
It's Google, so food's pretty important to us. And so you guys are guests here. We brought some snacks just in case. So we have some more.
Just random, a total random selection of snacks.
It's whatever I could find in the cupboard.
Oreos, for some reason.
We have some oranges. We have some oatmeal cookies in the back, too. And if you have any other suggestions on snacks, we're
Ozark pudding.
Ozark pudding is at the top of my list, although I've never had it.
I don't even know what it is, by the way.
We'll see if the cafe can whip some of that.
Total as a dump truck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when we were in the press room, there was a big basket of Oreos, and I was like, no, they're not trolling at all. Not at all. That's not how Google does things.
We've never trolled.
Jason, I remember when Chromecast came out, how many like on-screen dashboards did we talk about and review and look at that, in terms of cool apps. But and to answer your other question, Jason, is that back in San Francisco, my old apartment, I used to leave my TV on and leave Chromecast running through the photos and running through news stories and things like that. I just left it on. So I would totally use it. But we've seen that sort of function before, but we've never seen it with the smarts and the power of Assistant behind it and the personalization of our own accounts. Yeah. So I think this could be a really powerful tool, and you don't need, like your point, you don't need another device. You have a small TV in the kitchen. You just throw Chromecast on there, and you see the whole day ahead. You see your family schedule. You see all the information you need to see. That's really cool. I like the innovations they're bringing to home, and then of course our next topic to Assistant.
I can't wait to put a chore calendar on Chromecast.
It's
for children.
Oh, for the children. So their TV opens up and it shows all their chores.
No TV for you.
No TV
I
want to watch TV.
No.
Okay, sure, turn it on.
Let's look at the chores. There you
That's
go,
a really
moms.
great idea.
That's your idea.
That tackles a problem I'm having in my life right now.
There
we
you go.
go.
See? Real world application.
I mean, what's funny is that you look at my sister's family. She literally has 3 whiteboards up on the wall in their kitchen, and
Tour calendars are serious
and
business.
they're each calendars. There's a calendar for May, for June, and July. And at the end of the month, she erases one and draws the next month and slides them all over. And if it's not on that whiteboard, it doesn't exist. And I look at that. And just this past weekend, I was looking at going, I can get a 60-inch TV and make 4 sections and give you a
project
calendar.
managing your sister's family.
Oh my god!
Exactly. Like that
That's
would
hilarious.
be so cool. That would be a fun project.
Scrum your sister's family.
How was the experience? Flo, was it Google Disneyland, or was it Android Cella, or what was it? How are the services? How are the lines to the bathroom? How was the heat? How was the pavement?
Okay.
Like how was it as an event?
I came up with a new name, and I hope Google Jesus Camp.
Oh, geez! Wow.
I was super indoctrinated by the end of the week. I was just like, Google. Like, I was just really into it. That's what it's like, because everybody is just there all week just being like, Google. And then you're meeting all of the friends that you have from Twitter, and you're like, you use Google, I use Google too. We all use Google.
Let's talk about Google.
Yeah, we're all Google. And I swear, I mean it. It was very like.
Because they weren't trying to distract you so freaking much, like the way that they did last year.
I mean, and I mean that very positively, by the way.
Yeah.
Just the whole Jesus Camp idea, just in the idea that it's like Google Church Camp. Like, everybody is there to just freak out about this platform they love using and developing for, and everybody is just like sharing ideas, and everybody's learning from each other. I mean, the lines to get into the code labs were so long. People were waiting.
True.
People were waiting in 95-degree heat with umbrellas to get their apps looked at by a Google professional, and I love that spirit, and I love being around that. It's a good atmosphere just to be in and soak in the Google foo, so to speak. And it's good to have that like a week out of the year where you're actually just surrounded by developers. As a person who covers this, to be in their world, in your world, developers.
It's definitely something to look forward to. I feel like last year Google had a lot of learning to do about the new space.
Yeah,
and I feel like they actually really solved a lot of problems.
It was still hot and dusty, but Bay Area has a pollution problem right now, so not really much you can do about that until
It was fine. I love the fact that we're outside at an event for a couple of days.
I had a tough time this weekend. I had a very dry throat, and my throat was hurting from breathing in all the pollen and dust.
I am 2 shades darker.
I know, yeah.
It really is. It's really noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, but it was a lot better, and it's just the energy was different this year too, and it was just in that sense of, we're so happy to be here. This is something we all collectively love. Let us relish in it and enjoy the heck out of it. And I'm down for that.
Hey, here, and until next year's Google I/O.
Indeed.
The gavel.
It's time for the news, Brian.
We've spammed all the bad news for you, so don't worry, it's filtered out. It's now time for Android News.
The cream of the crop. It's the news you want in your inbox.
I'm waiting for the day that Brian runs out of time on that. I want to see him go down an improv road and the bumper end.
You're waiting for him to fall?
Just for fun.
Because he's so good. It's never going to happen. So we might as well wait for it.
It's happened once. I'm glad you guys forgot about it, so it's cool.
Meanwhile, Brian is still in therapy for that one time.
It haunts me.
We are building up a lot of buzz for a topic we will discuss eventually, which has to do with a phone. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have very sad news to sort of juxtapose against the happy news that will be coming soon
I
help
get it. I should have put
inspire you.
essential at the top of the news. I get it.
No, but let's celebrate a new phone by dancing on the grave of an old one.
Yeah, see?
Or an entire company.
I'll call an audible here, Jason and Brian. Before we get into it, even though it's 9 hours or 10 hours old, I think it's still breaking news.
And just so...
Okay. That was good in a pinch.
There you go.
I just also want to say that Andy Rubin right now is speaking to Walt Mossberg on...
That's right. Oh, yeah. So
on
the time
internet
there could be breaking
television.
news.
No, that isn't happening right now, live viewers. Don't switch.
Oh, sorry.
Come back.
Wait.
Come back.
Don't leave.
Come back.
Don't leave. Hold on. Please don't leave.
Actually,
Please
no.
don't
He's
leave.
been talking for about a half an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's
And
done.
I'm sure he's talking about other stuff. He's not talking about the essential phone at all.
No. So let's let everybody
Well, he's
in
not
on
talking about me, so I certainly...
You tuned out.
Just
You're
kidding.
I'm gonna go to the code conference and talk about Florence Ion. I'm Andy
you really
Rubin.
helped my
What else do you
brand.
expect me to do?
That would be weird if that happened. Let's be honest. I mean, Flo, I'm a big fan, but that would be weird.
Hey, one can dream.
So this is the Xiaomi Mi Max 1, the one that was launched last year by Hugo Barra. Obviously tricked out in Mocadile and a glass screen protector. This is my travel device. It's a big screen smartphone, and it's fantastic for both long battery life and consuming content on the go. So the Mi Max 1, in my view, was a huge success. It's a great product. It may not be for everyone, but it's a good device. The Mi Max 2 just plays on its strengths and improves. There's marginal improvements in the size of the battery, the quality of the overall package, but specifically in the chipset. So they're using the Qualcomm Snapdragon 625, which is a very efficient mid-range chip, and that's perfect for this type of device because most people won't want to be doing high-end gaming on it. They will most likely be just watching video, listening to music, doing social networking. And I really like the Mi Max 1. I will most likely be hunting down a good retailer on AliExpress to order a Mi Max 2 for myself. It's a great form factor despite being almost tablet-like.
And then once you get the Mi Max 2, you can charge up the Mi Max 1 and bring it along. And then when you need to charge up your Mi Max 2 while you're on the go, you can use the Mi Max 1 to charge the Mi Max 2. Just plug them into each other.
And whilst we're at it, I'll just carry on using the Lenovo P2, which is the one I showed last time I was in studio, with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, because that's, again, very similar. 5,000 milliamp hour battery, Snapdragon 625, another great long-lasting battery device, which comes with an adapter for you to charge other phones with it in the box.
This is a smartphone centipede.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, no. No one take that and run with it, please. No one.
Definitely don't make that the title.
Please
no one do a Google search for it. But with the Lenovo P2, I couldn't find any appropriate Mocadile, so I put googly eyes on it.
That works.
Oh, of course you did. Nice, there you go.
It looks like a thing that has a mouth.
It really kind of a very small mouth. There's a tiny little mouth down at the bottom there.
I do got to admit that no one accessorizes a phone better than Matteo.
It's true.
Like in terms of color, texture, all this sort of stuff. As someone who never puts a case on his phone, if I were to, I would consult with Matteo and find out what case I should use.
Great.
And sure enough, it'll be Mocadile.
It's my Italian genetics, fashion accessorization.
Yep.
But let's not forget that a lot of the smartphone industry is the smartphones themselves are sold at cost. What is the real moneymaker for the industry as a whole is the accessories and the add-ons, and sometimes apps and service pre-installs. So when looking at a smartphone, being able to look at the accessories available for them can also be an indicator of how successful the device will actually be.
Absolutely.
How committed the manufacturer is to seeing this device used globally by a lot of people. Is if at launch or shortly after there's a lot of cases and accessories for it.
If there's no cases, you better worry. Better worry about that phone you just
I was
bought.
worrying about the Pixel. I was worrying about the Pixel for a while, but thankfully Amazon seems to have caught on.
Good question there is whether or not the Essential phone will have any cases.
Why would you put a case on the Essential
phone? It looks like it might need one because of how shiny that back is.
That ceramic back.
Although, but they say that it holds up to the drop test, so maybe Andy Rubin's suggesting it doesn't use a case. I don't know. We got to find out. We got to ask him.
Holds up to the drop test if it drops on the titanium part and not the ceramic part. Believe me, give me the Essential phone. I will break it.
Is that a challenge?
I won't do it purposefully. I won't go there, but it'll happen if I don't put a case on it.
It sounds like a challenge.
Kind of. Well,
I'm sure you will.
Reality.
So what's the plan? Next time I'm in the US, we go to Andy Rubin's bakery and do drop tests with the Essential phone.
Oh
and see if
my
they'll
God!
bake us a pastry case.
We'll eat some
yes,
pastries.
and I need to bring you deodorant.
And that, yeah. Please, make sure you bring some deodorant for Flo, okay? All right.
Just as in previous Goat Simulator applications, the physics engine is hilarious. It's never been refined just because it's so funny about what can happen. So I've managed to drive the dolphin in a wheelchair up walls. This is a bank robbery in action, and the camel's walking in on it. Bank robbers seem to not be interested.
Oh my gosh!
I saved you.
Jason is obviously a very conscientious member of society who's stopping the bank robbery with his pet camel. Oh, there we go.
Yes. Oh my God!
You're licking the bank robbers away, Jason. Well done.
You know, I do what I can.
So I mean, this isn't a goat; it's a camel. Like I get this using the goat physics engine.
This is
but,
off-brand.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this, Ron? Huh?
I know.
It would
But
have
I
been better
feel
if
like
you got run over by the car while you were.
have the goat developers acknowledge a shortcoming in the goat world, and that's why they're giving you other options.
Ooh, controversial opinion.
Ron, very good question. So it depends on where you're coming from on that one. So if you go to Coffee Stain Studios, the Swedish developers of this game, if you go to their page 4 Goat Simulator Payday, they will actually define the 4 animals you get to choose from as 4 different types of goats. And not only that, because they're involved in heists, they're actually given Italian gangster names. So the camel is the camel, I believe, is called Don Pastrami. The dolphin is known as Dolph Spaghetti. The flamingo is known as Valentino Salami, and the goat is known as Humphrey Ciabatta. So all Italian foods name related gangster names. Plus, Jason has licked us.
Yeah, we need to tell people what's happening right now. Jeez.
So, it is a high comedy game, lots of entertainment for not only yourself but the rest of the family. If you Chromecast this game, maybe at a party after everyone's had a few drinks, it's even funnier.
Ooh.
Now, sadly, we don't have the audio at the moment, but the audio to the game is pretty epic. The game audio. So I recommend you all go and download. Whoops.
Sorry.
I recommend you all go and download Goat Simulator Payday. It is a high comedy game.
I don't know what's going on.
Serious physics bugs in the game engine.
Again, the
which are
physics have
deliberately
not
never
been
fixed,
refined.
which is part of the allure of the game. So, yes, the comedy factor in this game is extremely high, and they've just taken it further. So, well done to Coffee Stain Studios. As soon as I noticed this game was out, I decided to pay them £3.99 here in the UK. I see that's $4.99 in the US. And I recommend you all go and have a spin in Goatwood with all these wonderful goats or less goaty goats.
I just want to know when will it be enough? I mean, at this point now, we're going on several years of this.
Look, this is basically Grand Theft Auto with barn animals.
With goats.
Or zoo animals.
Yeah. It's never, Ron, it's never goat enough.
It's never
okay?
enough. Never enough.
It's okay. Okay, there. You can finish that.
The first time I brought Goat Simulator to the Android app arena was back in 2014. And I take great pride in saying I beat Phil Nickinson, who brought Slack to the table.
Damn. I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. This was a long time ago. And Goat Simulator and Coffee Stain Studios have carried on delivering very tongue-in-cheek updates and major updates to their games. And they're great on Androids. You don't need to have a high-end device to play this. It works fine on a Snapdragon 625 chip, whether that's in my Lenovo P2 or on the BlackBerry Key 1. It works great. So they've obviously done some very good optimizations to make that work.
Fantastic.
So a vote for Goat Simulator Payday is a vote for guests, goats, and Gina.
I mean, it's right there in the word goat. It's what G stands for.
There. Yeah, you got to get the guests out of the gutter here. The goat gutter.
The goat gutter.
Jason may be sick, but we've got your top picks, and there's no way to mispronounce Android news.
Hey, here we are in Times Square, ready to introduce the people of New York to Huawei. Now let's see if they'll be able to pronounce it.
All right, that's all we have to say. Anyway, so it's the dorky streets of New York. Can you pronounce Huawei? But that is an official video from Huawei with their pronunciation, W-A-H-W-E-Y. So everyone complained that we're mispronouncing it. It's Huawei. We're sticking to it.
And you should go. Yes, go ahead.
Based on everything I've heard in China, that's not actually right.
That's great.
I don't know. Well, I can tell you,
I've been to China with them 4 times, and I actually remember this. My first ever time in China was 2 years ago with Huawei. Even I call them Huawei because it's just the easiest way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and they were like, "Oh, that's not how you know it." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then they pulled up the video and they were like, "Yeah, but this is how we say it for a Western audience." But Chinese people go Huawei or Huawei, or even I can't do it. It's way too difficult to pronounce.
So what you're saying is that I need to put a little bit of spit into it.
I never said that.
Oh.
I was trying and it just came out very wrong. But
So I thought that's what you were going for. And
there's a very, I don't know.
Oddly enough, I just quickly looked, and sure enough, my favorite spot for stupid questions and answers on Quora.
Yes,
Brian, I put it into the chat room. So someone did say, how do you pronounce Huawei? And the top answer explains that they say that it's Huawei. And Brian, the link is in the chat if you want to put that up on here. But if you zoom in at the bottom of the first answer, it says, although the Mandarin romanization is normally pronounced Huawei, HWA-WAY, the Cantonese pronunciation is more like Huawei. So.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, so there are some cultural differentiations here. I mean, we're talking like, whoa, this might actually be pretty
deep. Flo, we're talking wah. Not whoa, wah.
We're never going to pronounce it right on this show.
We tried to put a nail in the coffin on this topic, but now we've just opened up to 3 other pronunciations. So
I think it's safe to say that
welcome to our hell.
No one's ever going to be able to pronounce it properly. But the funny thing is, hey, it's a talking point. It gets people talking because they're like, just how do you actually pronounce that damn thing?
It's true.
So
most people give up.
All right.
I'm giving up.
Let's give up.
Victor, who normally edits the show, Victor is here as our TD today. Victor, thank you for stepping in Brian's absence because he's lazy, right? Brian's lazy. That's why you're here?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate you stepping up to the plate. Just kidding. Brian, I think, is away on vacation. He deserves
I think there's no. I've seen Brian on Instagram. He is indeed on vacation, and there's no one that we enjoy throwing under the bus more than Brian when he's not here. So, because he's not gonna watch this. He's on vacation. So
he'll never know.
Never know.
Well, you'll have a lot of ammo this time around, Ron, because I'm going to mess up a lot.
No,
no.
You got this, Victor. You got this. In fact, you know how I know you had this? Because you checked in with me earlier today to ask me about probably the single most like apparently terrifying element of this show for anyone that fills in on it is the news bumper, which is coming up. Are you ready, Victor? Are you ready?
I think so.
Right now.
Oh, the news you'll hear on Android News.
There you go. See?
Bravo.
See, you got it. You were worried and you had nothing to worry about.
Oh, the news to hear.
That was a great first bumper, Victor. I'm sure Brian would be very, very proud if he was still with us.
Oh, thanks, Ron.
Bert gave you 7.5, I think, out of 10. So there you go.
That means a lot coming from Burke and Ron.
Yep. I don't really think orange as a dessert. I know orange is a fruit, which could be a good snack, sometimes used in desserts. But if I had a nice dinner and then afterwards we cleared the table and the coffee got put on and they said, let's bring out the dessert, and they bring out a platter of oranges, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's
going to be that kind of dessert.
Okay, well, first of all, Ron, I like to put out oranges for my guests, so there's that. Second of all, one of my favorite things on earth is an orange chocolate cake. So I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. Steven, I'm sure you have opinions here.
They already announced it. It's the public. They announced it at Google I/O on day 2. Android O stands for "Oh no, we're out of time."
But you can't eat that.
That's a good one.
You can't eat that. That's not delicious. That's stressful.
I also don't think it's going to be Orangina, because Orangina is a beverage. That is, again, it's not. I'm sticking hard to the desserts and the candies, and Orangina is a drink.
Yeah,
Orange Julius, maybe.
Orange Julius is really good.
Yeah, but that's very very region specific.
That's true.
Have we actually heard? I feel like I don't know if I dreamed this or if this actually happened. So I'll need a reality check from you guys. But aren't there rumors that Sundar Pichai met with? I could have dreamed this, that he met with some big heads in the food world, Nabisco maybe.
Wait a minute. Does Sundar Pichai meet with Big Food?
Yes, Sundar Pichai meet with Big Food.
I seem to remember something, but maybe I had the same dream.
I'm just thinking about all these Oreo variants that have come out. Now we have Oreo Thins, and I think we also have some other version of Oreo that I keep seeing advertised. So this is a good time for Big Oreo to push its product.
Have you seen the firework Oreo ones for Canada Day and July 4th? They got ones that with Pop Rocks built in.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Whoever is the product manager at Oreo is literally going mad with power, because there are all sorts of variations on Oreos now these days. There's mint Oreos, there's thins, thicks, there's I was in the store the other day and I was a whole display of all the multivariant Oreos, and I was listen,
vanilla.
In my world, it's just the standard Oreo, maybe a double stuff every now and then, and it stops there.
Stuff. Yeah, double stuff has been around long enough that it has to stay. But I agree with you guys. I think there's an Oreo conspiracy afoot, and I think we're going to see it come to a head once Android O is out on the streets.
Yeah.
So, literally, if you go to Oreo.com, there are wonder-filled Oreos, chocolate candy. There's thins. There's it's really they're out of control.
You're not talking about Oreos at that point. Oreo is the chocolate cookie with the stuff in the middle. That's what it is.
I would also like to everyone know that there has been a nationwide recall of Oreo fudge creams sold in the United States. So if you've purchased the Oreo fudge creams, there's a recall. It's a voluntary recall, but still, it's a recall.
Oh my gosh! Look.
Do you see the alert? The alert right underneath the banner there. It says,
oh my gosh, this is so unfortunate. Oh, poor Oreo. Well, not poor Oreo. Why are you contaminating your food, Oreo? Come on.
Or I don't know if it's a contamination. It's voluntary. So if it's voluntary, maybe it's maybe
it's just listen. You're better off just returning it.
Return your Oreos, everyone. Refund those Oreos.
Keep in mind, they don't have to be actually taking the old photo and pasting it in. They're looking at what you look like when you're smiling, and they can transform the picture itself by shifting things slightly, changing the lighting a little bit, changing the white balance, changing all these little things to make it look a little bit different than what it did before.
Yeah.
It's like those apps that you find in the Play Store where you can essentially go in and it'll make little markers around your lips, and then you could just move everything ever so slightly until eventually you have morphed yourself into a happy smile.
Because all we want to be is happy 100% of the time. Happy.
This is like out of a dystopian science fiction novel in Brazil or something. Yeah. We need to shake this off. We need to. Yeah.
No, Ron. We don't need to shake this off. This is the rest of the show. No, I can't do it. We have a lot to talk about. Boy, howdy do we. We've got the OnePlus 5. We're going to go hands-on. Boy, howdy.
Come on, Jason. What did you tell me before the show? You said, just commit to it, Flo. Commit.
Yeah, then you call me out on it.
Because you gave me great advice.
That's true. I appreciate that. Keep me honest, Flo. That's all I asked for. Brian, it's good to have you back. Are you ready to deliver the news?
Well, yeehaw, Jason. I hope you're all ready for a rodeo of Android news.
I'm sorry I ever said boy howdy.
Brian is from this studio's hometown, so
that's right, little lady.
Naturally,
I enjoy myself a good portion of Android news.
It comes naturally to Brian.
And he has chickens.
Do you have chickens?
I do have chickens. It's Petaluma, of course I do.
Well, I mean, lots of people in Petaluma have chickens. Our neighbors have a rooster, and that's awesome. At 4 o'clock, I'm not kidding, in the morning.
I do not have a rooster. I have 4 hens, and they are lovely ladies.
You would. Just Brian and his hens.
I don't actually think they're allowed to have the rooster, but they do anyways. Why? Because 4 o'clock in the morning, every single day. Arkadoodloos! Oh, and I'm not joking. I'm gonna admit something.
What? Did you drop it in the toilet recently?
Not recently.
Oh, a while ago you did?
Probably about 2 weeks after I got it. I didn't tell anybody because I was so ashamed.
Oh, that's not shameful.
Wow.
That's okay, Jason.
Yeah.
Did you put it in a bag of rice?
No, I got it out and it was a clean toilet. Just so you know, it was just water.
I mean, I was gonna ask, but
well, somebody wants to know if this was ever dunked in a not clean toilet. And I'm just using it every day.
You can clean it.
I mean, it went in. It was probably only in there for like a second before I got it out, and I was scared. And I was like, I guess I'm just gonna live and see what happens.
I've had
and
nightmares
so far, so good.
about that. I've had nightmares about my phones falling in water and just like losing them, like a family member dying. That's how bad those things are.
Frozen in time, frozen in history.
Yeah.
That
and
phone.
so now
screaming.
What is the fuel for that nightmare? Is it the loss of the data on the phone, or is it the cost to replace a new phone?
The loss of the. Oh man, I gotta have another bad dream and think about that. I'll get back to you next time I journal.
We're peeling the layers. Yep. We're peeling the onion right now. We're figuring this out.
I'll get back to you on that, Ron.
We've really got a lot out on the table today. I feel
we
closer to you guys.
We have more to get out though, so.
All right, so let's get there.
So I brought a little prop today to help test my app.
A plate?
A plate.
I have to admit, I'm when I saw this in the document, I was like, oh, really, Flo?
It is a hot
Brian,
dog.
I can show on the camera what I have here.
Oh, man.
It is indeed a hot dog. Unfortunately, there were no tasty condiments in the Twit fridge. I was hoping for there to be some mustard here, but there was not. And I'm definitely not putting ketchup on my hot dog.
Not that hot dogs ever look like delicious or anything.
It's beef, by the way.
But a hot dog in the like surrounding area of the studio is so incredibly out of place, and it just makes it look even grosser.
I did boil this a couple of hours ago, so I promise it's somewhat.
Okay, that's why it's a little wrinkly. Okay.
So yeah, my app, in case you couldn't tell, is this one called Not Hot Dog. And if you are a fan of Silicon Valley, which unfortunately just ended its season, you will know about Jin Yang's app, which helps you figure out if something is a hot dog or isn't a hot dog. And so I was thinking it'd be fun for us to just try it on camera.
We need to know if this is technology that we can harness for ourselves in our everyday life.
Yeah, so let's see.
This is important.
Let's see if this works.
Okay. We're analyzing the hot dog with the app.
It's a hot dog!
And the app is smart enough to know that is indeed a hot dog. Okay.
It knew. I can share it now to the internet if I'd like.
I think that you should.
Should we?
I think we need to though test it on a not hot dog.
If it's not a hot dog. Let's take this Android figurine.
If it thinks this is a hot dog, then it's got problems.
Yeah. So here's this little Android figurine. Let's see if it thinks this is a hot dog.
Not hot dog. That is amazing.
Not a hot dog. Amazing, isn't it?
Wow.
This app has really helped me in my quest to find the perfect hot dog.
Or not so perfect hot dog. Really, just to find a hot dog.
I have a real hot dog here in my hands.
So now this illustrates the problem I was talking about earlier, because the episode that featured this app came out 4 weeks ago?
Something like that.
And the iOS app came out the day after the episode aired, and now a month later we get it on Android.
What? I didn't know that.
We are that far behind that
Man, that hurts my feelings. Well, we'll see if this works.
Blame fragmentation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, well, there is a hot dog there. It's true.
There's a hot dog.
I would want it to know that there was a hot dog in that picture.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a very funny app. It's very funny.
It's been a while since we've had you on, Francisco Franco, but we are delighted that you are carving hours from your sleep to join us tonight.
I missed the show, so let's go.
Now let's go. So before we get into this, you sent me a link right before we got in here. It was a tweet from Liam Spradlin, who has also been on the show many times, and I think the last time was on with you. He now works for Google, so he has been, brought into the mothership.
Exalted.
Yes. Unfortunately, he probably won't be on the show very much anymore unless Google lets him. Anyways, he sent you a tweet that said, I think this episode should be called Franco Cares After All. Because if you remember, I'm sure you remember, Francisco, but the last time you were on, you had a very opinionated approach on Android, and I think more specifically Samsung. You even told me that you still get emails and tweets about this to this day. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what was the episode about, but it was something about the Samsung phone, Note 6 maybe, S6, I don't know. So you guys were talking about the phone, and I said I didn't care anything about what Samsung was doing. Because the way they were changing Android, and I was so blunt that even today I still get emails and tweets about I'm a bad person because I shouldn't say those things. I read that even this week on Reddit. So
really,
now I have a S8 here.
It was my how things do evolve.
Oh, I care, Jason, because I'm here every week. And we also know Francisco cares. So let's get into Android news.
Oh, it's going to be a long episode if we don't let this one go.
I like Brian's. He's patting himself on the back for being here every week, except when he's not.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
We got to take a day off every once in a while.
You have... anyway, all right, let's move on. Hey.
So if you can't make it to the studio and you're stuck in traffic, don't worry, because we've got Android news.
One of these days, we're all going to say Android news with you. It'll be epic.
Wait, we are? Now we're going to do that? Now there's another thing
we could try that someday.
Another thing I have to do.
I know, yes. We'll add it to your list. I'll preface you before the show. We'll kind of prep you.
Changes.
You'll meet with the production supervisor. We'll rehearse. We'll go over it.
It takes a lot of practice.
It takes a village, yes, and a lot of practice. Okay, so this is a little bit more refined. You don't see as much the edges.
There we go.
Look at that. That folds much easier. That's not a huge bezel.
The person is not required to be a weightlifter in order to close it up.
Well, there's still a little tension there when he does it. You see, there's a stutter step when he's closing it that it looks like it's pushing back on it.
Here
it goes. Here it comes.
Less delicate.
In the video, he's got the full tablet view, and then he goes to fold it, and it looks like he's gonna break it. Right? Did you see that?
Oh, he almost dropped it.
So when you're talking about foldable screen like this, it also probably means that the screen is, you can't shatter it. It's not glass, it's a plastic, so it's more durable. It looks like a DVD case.
It looks like it would get really gross after 15 minutes of use.
Look at that.
Now in this one, it activates both screens when it's in camera mode, so that's kind of interesting.
I feel like
That's
what'll happen
pretty
is
cool.
you'll fold it over and over, and then you'll get like a crease in the middle, and you'll want to like pull on it and like pick at it and mess with it.
Yes.
Which would be gross.
I just like, what's the longevity of this sort of plastic display?
Interesting. Wow.
I just love this. These. It's just crazy R&D design.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not for consumer use yet. This is a concept, right?
This is an idea that will bring forth another idea, kind of like I
So
imagine.
you can see the.
There's the crease.
You can see the crease. The
There's
crease
a bit of a
is-
noticeable crease on the tablet, and I wonder what that would look like over time.
Yeah. Well, I don't want my tablet to have wrinkles. I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah,
David, that was a great observation. Look at that. That crease is noticeable when it's off.
Yeah, you don't want the tablet to have stretch marks like that.
My tablet is
like the
aged, just like my books.
I'm telling you, we're gonna have bendable displays at some point, man. And we're gonna be roll up. You're gonna roll up your phone and then unfold it to make a tablet. It's gonna be great. The future is gonna be amazing.
And then
I believe.
swallow it to store it. It's gonna be so weird. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like.
I believe. How much do they weigh?
That is a good question. They're not that
Ask someone.
heavy.
Give them to someone else. Give them
those
to
weigh?
Jason or David.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not even a couple of pounds. They're pretty
Here,
light.
Jason, you put them on. You put them on.
I mean, actually, it's about. You want me to put this on?
Put them on, and then I'll put on a Dixie Chick song that you can listen to.
Yeah, please.
All right. There's a Dixie Chick song playing.
It actually kind of looks like the collar
right
of my
now.
shirt.
All right. So do you want to listen to the Dixie Chicks?
Oh, I thought you were gonna do speaker mode.
No.
Okay.
Not yet. Put it on. I want you to see how it works.
Okay. I'm
Are you listening to
sorry
the-
for whatever happens
Are you
with these
listening to the
headphones.
Dixie Chicks? All
after
right.
going
There's a
into my
button
ears.
over here on
Okay.
on the inside that you could switch. Switch
Do-
it at your leisure. You could
Okay, I don't
switch it
actually
up.
know, but I'll do that. I just pushed a
To
button.
Oh no, not push. Switch this up.
Okay, you do it, because I don't know where
All
it
right.
is.
Wait, is it playing still?
Yeah, there's music playing, but
Oh, yeah.
there we go. Oh.
There it is. Yep. There's the Star Trek collar. That's what it looks like.
It really does kind of look like the collar to my shirt, except it plays Dixie Chicks. So it's almost the same thing as like my normal shirt. Okay, it sounds all right.
All right.
It's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little
Is it?
weird. It's a little weird.
It's time to twist apart the headlines and get to the filling of Android news.
Yes, Victor, you have embraced the Android news bumper.
Android's name finally got released, and we know what it spells. It spells Oreo. That's Oreo.
Yeah.
So is this the time that we admit that we were all wrong and we dismissed this as an option too quickly?
Well, I think we have to. Like, obviously.
We went on record last week with our predictions. I believe it was me who said, "There's no way it'll be Oreo." So,
I mean, well, okay, so let's think backwards a little bit. When was the last time that Google trolled with a dessert well in advance and it ended up actually being that? I don't know if that's ever happened. Maybe that's why it happened this time, because you don't expect it to happen.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
It's true,
Like,
and nobody expects.
Tell you, 7
flying
nerds in the
Android
audience just laugh.
superheroes. Let's talk about the mascot.
What's the deal with the superhero motif?
I am trying to find that out myself. So what we do know about the mascot is actually the only thing we know is from Advertising Age. They wrote this little ditty on what Oreo and Google plans to do for the marketing message behind Oreo. So the Oreo mascot is a superwoman. I just want everybody to know she's
That's awesome.
female. But if you continue on in reading in the Ad Age little write-up, you will notice that because she is female, it means that she is, I believe it said, oh my gosh, where is it? Intelligent and playful. Yes. The brands say well, I guess it's not women. Never mind. I read that wrong.
What's that?
Maybe wait, hang on, Flo. Maybe you should put the glasses back on, see what it says then.
No. Okay, so I actually wrote about this earlier today, and I realized that I completely read this paragraph wrong. So we're gonna do this on live TV. It's happening. Basically, the paragraph says, coming hand in hand with the Android Oreo release is a female superhero, which the brands, that being Android and Oreo, say it is meant to mix the playfulness of Oreo and the intelligence of Android. So that is why it is a female superhero, which is what I understood that paragraph to mean.
Every superhero, by the way, has an origin story. This is what the Android account on Google Plus said. Android Oreo makes your device smarter, makes it faster, safer, and more powerful. Superhero.
Oh, so that explains the superhero. By the way, I would like to give a little shout out to Jason and the rest of you at Twit for updating the lower third with the Oreo graphic so quickly.
Very quickly.
Big thanks to Josh here for
thank you, Josh.
Putting that together this morning because it looks great.
But here's the $10,000 question.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we have a bumper?
I don't know. Do we have any breaking news? Do we have any breaking news? I don't know. We might have some breaking news. Sure. If you've got it, we might as well hit it. Uh-oh. Let's wait for some breaking news. You know what? We can't just rush into this, Ron.
It can happen at any moment, really.
It's possible that we might have some breaking news later. We'll just give...
Bravo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? Yeah?
I can get behind that.
Okay.
Love it. And let's not forget who works at Google, Flo.
Rick Osterloh.
Exactly.
Hardware.
So don't you think HTC and Rick Osterloh's hands would thrive?
Just gonna take HTC and just kind of rock it back and forth.
It's like Rick Osterloh is the cookie and HTC is the frosting.
That's a much better metaphor than what I was going for.
And they go together. They work. It's delicious.
I want to give Jason bonus points for fantastic Oreo analogies.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I'm going to milk this for all it's worth.
Oh my gosh, he just keeps going.
And then 2 steps backwards.
What are you, a dad or something?
Yeah.
We are a privileged bunch too, because Ron was saying I used to shop for electronics that way. Like I would look for anything that, was sent back and maybe I could get an out of the box model
refurbish or whatever.
Or whatever I could find on eBay. Somebody who maybe didn't scratch up something so much.
Right.
Because I wanted the new thing. I could not pay the full price.
Sure. There are ways to do that. Absolutely.
And I'm not going to lie, it stung, just like I'm sure it did for you, Ant, when I bought the Pixel. And I put it on a credit card. But because it was right before my wedding, I just put it down as a wedding expense. Which is fine. That's how I'm not getting married this year, so I have no justifications whatsoever this year.
You should get remarried. Rededicate yourself.
I believe that polyamory is illegal in the state of California.
Well, not that.
He didn't say marry someone else.
I'm not saying marry someone else. I'm saying
I
remarry.
would add on if that's the way. I'm not leaving my husband.
Well, then no, remarry your husband. Renew your vows. You can do it every year and write off your phone.
Actually, maybe that's a good idea. I'll just renew my vows every October, which happens to be around the Pixel
telling you to get married to somebody new.
It's like, there's
Listen, I'm trying to push the envelope for women here, okay? If I'm going to push it, I'm going to push it hard. You realize that we almost have a year's worth of shows.
What do you mean?
335?
Oh.
One more? Wait, 356. Never mind.
Wait a minute. Years.
It's 365.
Oh, we had a new.
Oh,
I hadn't thought of it that way. 365 episodes, and you.
But I just heard 300, and I just thought about the fact that we could fill out almost an entire year of programming.
Almost. We're pretty close. I mean, it's probably going to take another year to get there, but maybe not quite another year. But soon you will be able to watch a new episode of All About Android for every day of the year. Lucky you. It's a great way. And in fact, Ron, you're going to have to start a podcast where you go back to episode 1 and dissect episode per episode of All About Android.
I'm going to do All About Android Minute. So I'm going to go through every minute of the podcast. It's going to be fantastic. It'll be great. Yeah.
Don't die in the process because that sounds like hell. Speaking of hell, welcome to the show, Father Robert Mouse.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Why don't you take this and then I'll touch Michael?
Well, yeah. So, before the show started, Flo chatted to me and says, "Michael's got Project Jacquard on," and I said, "You're kidding me."
Yes.
So, Michael, tell us all about this jacket, this wonderful piece of technology. Is it wonderful?
Ridiculously lucky, and Boston happened to be one of the 3 launch day launch markets. And I walked into a store, and they had 5 of them on a rack, and a bunch of 2 Google people in the store to talk about it, and it was great. And I tried it on.
God, there were Google people there.
There were Google people.
Okay.
One of them had a blue Pixel like me, and we did a whole demo, and it was lovely. So the jacket itself is very comfortable. It is the Levi's Commuter Jacquard by Google. Jacquard. There's all kinds of branding.
There's
on it.
lines, there's copyrights.
Oh yeah, no, I've got an inside pocket. I've got 2 inside pockets.
That's so cool.
Pocket. But really, all the business happens here on the sleeve, which you can barely see it. Like these threads are, they've done some custom weaving, as you probably know. Run, flow, there's some kind of metallic, but it doesn't feel any different.
At Google I/O, and they showed kind of like the way it was woven into the fabric. It was fascinating.
And they, of course, interface with the little kind of snap tag here is what they call it, and it's very flexible. The battery life is the battery life is actually quite good.
Oh, that's it.
So
that
far.
comes off.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
This is crazy.
Right? Yeah.
We didn't see this. We didn't see this in the demo video.
Yeah.
So you plug this into a USB-A port, obviously, to charge it, but you don't really need to do that often. They're calling it 14 days, I think. Just plug it in, then you've got this illuminated portion that will tell you that you have an inbound call or something like that, and it'll also react when you do the gestures by swiping backwards or forwards or double tap and starting your music, and it should be doing all that on the Pixel.
Oh yeah, can you do a live demo for
right
us
now?
These always go well.
Oh yeah, Hot Thoughts by Spoon. What a great track.
Anything you need blurred out, just let us know.
Actually, I just cleared away a Project Fi throttling notification, so that's nice.
Oh, cool.
Never seen that before. But anyway, yeah, like if you're playing back a track, you can go ahead and skip, or you can go previous, or you can stop. Yeah. One thing it's quite cool, and it'll announce stuff too. So it sort of presupposes that you're wearing headphones while you're using the jacket, and so you have to like get yourself set up that way. You have to have your phone in your pocket and your headphones on, and you get on your bike, and then you are able to control the media in limited ways. You can't control the volume on the jacket.
Ooh.
You can set it to announce your inbound callers and text, but I don't think it'll announce the content of the text in your ears. There's, it's very early.
Can you answer the phone with the jacket?
I believe yes. You can accept a call or reject a call, and the app allows you to customize all the different interactions.
Gestures.
Yeah, the gestures and stuff. So it's all really cool. But I'm much more excited for the future of it than its current iteration. I mean, this very same jacket without the Project Fi stuff without the Project Jacquard stuff is, I think, $148 instead of $350.
Yeah.
And also, the weirdest thing about it is you can only wash it 10 times.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. But how often do you wash a jean jacket anyway?
True.
Can you dry clean it?
I think it says no, or I actually don't quote me on that. It says on the tag.
It'll make it really stiff if you take it to the dry cleaner, a jean jacket. Yeah, and then it's just like.
But I mean, like, I like, the look is great. The technology is cool. It's just like, I feel like, when did we first hear about this? IO 15?
Yeah, IO 15.
I would like a little bit more functionality at launch for 350, I think.
Is this wind back?
Yeah, so they're vented shoulders, and there's like reflective tape on it, so you don't get creamed by a car when you're bike riding at night.
When you stop to answer your phone calls.
I am not. I personally am not, but most people who buy the Levi's commuter jacket are like, I think that's the target market.
Okay, forget most people. You're most people, because most people don't bike to work.
No, but everyone in Boston does. I feel like it's this.
Maybe you guys have more of a bike culture.
Most definitely, yeah.
But go to San Francisco and talk about bike culture, or Portland, or anything like that. Like those are thousands of people on bikes, right? So
and
they
don't want, like, if you don't have a smartwatch, especially, you don't necessarily want to be fiddling with your phone while you're doing that. So this could be quite handy in that circumstance.
Do you find that it replaces the watch? Given that you've got a watch right under that capacitive,
it's a super redundant thing. I would, if you already have a smartwatch, this jacket probably is not going to do you many favors. But
I was going to ask, why are you wearing the smartwatch?
Because I thought I was going to get the beta, but I didn't get the beta. So you want me to take off my watch?
No.
Make fun of my watch.
I just felt it was a tiny bit redundant, But also, you are Mr. Mobile, and you're wearing all the mobile stuff.
Smash that like button.
So, oh boy. Okay, it's what happens when you enter in the closet and the light isn't on.
You turn it on. It's dark.
Yes.
Okay.
This was a popular 80s cartoon about
Scooby-Doo?
mutant teenage...
Cowabunga, dude.
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes. This guy is a quack. He's on daytime TV. He helped do the Cash Me Outside girl. He gave her... Okay, it was Dr. Phil, by the way.
Okay.
This is a flavor of this is the flavor of the Oreo cookie on the outside.
Mystery.
No,
unknown.
The cookie is
chocolate.
Yes. This is what you do to your house when you want to make it all Halloweeny.
Decorate.
Yes. This is the inside of your body. It holds you
blood.
up. No, it's
the skin. Bones.
Close. Yes.
Skeleton.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
We just played Heads Up on All About Android.
Also, if you pass, it comes back around if you have more time at the end. So you shouldn't tell them.
You can come back to the ones that you skip.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So apparently I scored 5.
Wait, so Dr. Phil was in the Happy Halloween pack?
That's weird.
That's shade. Anyway, go on. I'm a boombox.
Is a boombox. That is
So to our audience listeners, Florence is wearing it's like a vinyl.
It's
what's
a
that
pop-up
material?
boombox costume, and on the inside, if you can hear that Velcro,
I hear something.
you're supposed to be able to open it. And
this is great content.
And put a phone in there. So that
So
you
it
can
goes on the
play
inside.
back music.
Okay.
There we go. I just put my phone in there.
Oh wow! It's an interactive costume, kind of.
It's not, I thought it comes with an auxiliary cable, but apparently
it's
You got this on AliExpress. Tell me you got this on AliExpress.
No, I bought this from an American website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
these
just
are
assumed you get
specially made
everything on
pop-up
AliExpress.
costumes so that you can just, I forget the brand, but I bought them off the internet, which is where you get things.
That's
I
impressive.
like that there's a window where the cassette would go, and that's where your phone's display goes, so you can show.
So you can
what you're
actually
listening
download
to.
an app.
Yeah.
To make it look like a cassette, and it plays like old cassette whirring sounds.
Okay.
Whirring.
And when your phone is in there, it's like the reverse bezel-less trend. It's like, we're going to give you the biggest bezel ever.
Yes.
And it's the shape of a boombox.
And I was going to
Very
make a
good.
joke about the lack of the headphone jack on the Pixel 2, but it turns out you don't need one for this at all. I don't. I'm probably not going to wear this past the intro, just so everybody knows.
Keep it for just a few minutes, please. I request. Oh, hey, look, I've got a new Oreo. It has nothing to do with Halloween, except this.
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Wow.
Oh.
So I don't know if that makes any sense.
Put it on. I don't want to be alone here.
It's an Oreo costume, and I saw it, and I thought this has to happen because, well, I mean, this is what we do here,
This is
right?
amazing.
I like the commitment, Jason. This is really, I'm very impressed.
So there you go. I'm an Oreo cookie. You would really think that this show was sponsored by Oreo at this point, but it's not.
I said that in the grocery store the other day. I'm like, man, we talk a lot about Oreos on this show.
It's kind of depressing, actually. Helena, I did not warn you that usually at the beginning of every episode we unbox a brand new flavor of Oreo cookie because, I don't know, different from when I was a kid when there was one flavor of Oreo. Now there are millions.
And double stuff. Double stuff came out like
Yeah,
in
and
the 90s.
double stuff. But that's the same flavor. It's just more of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry because otherwise I would have shipped you some Oreos.
You're not forgiven on that one.
Do you eat any of these extra flavors and do you like any of them?
My favorite flavors are the European flavors. So you get all those strange and exciting flavors in Europe that you can't get here. Like, I don't think they have green tea Oreos here. Do they?
I don't know if I've seen them. I've seen them online because I've become a little bit of an expert on Oreos by searching on the internet for flavors I'll never get.
Can we get a product shot on this, please, Victor, so I can just show how red this Oreo is on either side? Now, this is a red velvet Oreo.
Red velvet
They leaned into the red velvet aspect.
It really
of it.
smells velvety.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and pass this to the throngs of people off camera who always come in to get an Oreo cookie at this point. And we'll take a bite, and then we'll give it a number rating, and then we'll move on. Okay.
I like Bleak's rating in the chat room is red.
Code red. No, I've had worse. Last week's was much worse.
What was last week's? I forgot.
What was it?
Last week's was a mystery flavor.
It was mystery, which was not good at all.
Okay, I give those an 8.5. Those are really good.
They're pretty good.
Rating.
I wouldn't go quite as high. I'd probably go like 6, 7.
Are you not a Red Velvet fan?
7. I could take it or leave it.
Oh, that's why. See, I'm a fan of Red Velvet, the cream cheese frosting, the way it lingers by in your mouth as you're trying to do a podcast.
By the way, a couple of weeks ago when Ron was out and it was just Flo and I, we weren't sure whether we could say this on the show, but Ron was out because he just got married.
I did. I could have used some Android-shaped cufflinks.
Exactly. That was where I was going with that. You needed some of that.
I picked it up and ran with it, Jason. Yeah, I know, but I was out October 22nd, actually Sunday. It was lovely day in New York City, and then I was out the week after on the honeymoon. And I was just it was a small, intimate affair. So I don't want to share it with all of social media, but yes, very excited to be married now. So
wow, congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you.
We're super
Thanks,
happy
guys.
for you.
Hopefully, we're not in danger of any Google crackdowns, because here's the accessible Android news.
Oh, this week's news is accessible.
Jason?
Yes?
We didn't do the Oreos.
Oh, man. Okay, real quick.
I'm sorry to interrupt this broadcast.
Yeah, that was going to be
We forgot to do our Oreo test,
initial,
and it is very important that we stick to routine.
Hey, Victor.
I feel partly responsible because you guys were so kind in bringing up my stuff.
No, it was not you at all. It was purely me being caffeinated.
All right. There are some people that were watching that were like, yay, they skipped that part. And I'm sorry to say,
but
we're not skipping it. We're going to take a quick bite.
Would it be
I got to say, usually listening to the podcasts.
It's a breaking news. I think this is breaking news because we broke the show.
We broke the show.
That's awesome.
Today's treat is called the Triple Double Oreo. Have you ever heard of this one?
Oh, no.
This is like you can't make up your mind, so you get chocolate and you get vanilla, or what is that? Is that actual vanilla?
When did we get a Neapolitan?
Yeah, it's like
Oreo.
a Neapolitan, a little
Okay, but a Neapolitan would be triple stack, and I'd be into that, just saying, Oreo.
They're really tall.
Just go all the way.
They're so tall, I don't want to eat it.
They're so thick.
Here, go ahead and
I'll grab one. I'll grab one.
Okay, I'm sorry, audio listeners.
Yeah, we're going to try and do this so it's not...
Okay, you guys chew. I'm going to vamp for you guys. I actually have to say, listening to the audio podcast that you guys put out, I have to commend you for doing such a good job of not chewing directly on top of the microphones. As someone with a little misophonia, you guys do that pretty well.
Well, thank you. A, I appreciate the vamping. B, thank you, because we really try not to eat into the microphone because I know how much people hate that. Personally, I'm one of those weird people that think it's hilarious. So, but I restrain myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is too much Oreo.
Yeah, it is.
This is too much Oreo.
I mean, it's just really thick.
I'm putting the kibosh. You can't do this. This is not okay.
It's like a Big Mac. It's like with the layer in the middle.
I don't want a Big Mac. There's a reason I don't eat Big Macs.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of reasons.
I also just kind of think it's kind of a bland flavor. So
it doesn't. It is. It's just. It's chalky and it's too much. This is a 5. I agree.
5.
But I'm gonna finish
middle
it.
of the road. YellowGoldMusic.com, which, by the way, you're gonna want to check on Thursday.
Oh my gosh! Is this your Taylor Swift moment?
This is my.
Are you doing are we gonna have snakes on Twitter? Like, what's your animal? What's your animal?
Don't put me on the same level as Taylor Swift because you might be horribly disappointed.
We need an animal. Tiger. Everyone respond with a tiger emoji.
Jason needs a squad too.
Oh yeah, you ready for the news, Victor? Because we're ready for the news. That was perfect. Just let it lie. That was great.
We got to erupt in laughter once in a while. We have a lot of fun on this show.
Yes. Sorry, Victor. We didn't.
It's okay.
My favorite part, Victor, I have to say, was hearing you, but it didn't go through the mic. We just heard you in the room. That's okay.
I was ruminating on that cool fade out I did at the end of the ad.
That's okay. I think you nailed it. I think we all agree you nailed it.
Yes.
All right, now it's time for the real news.
Wait, hang on, Jason.
Oh,
I think I got it this time.
What? Oh.
The only thing we collect is chocolatey goodness on Android News.
All right. You redeemed yourself. Although you didn't need to redeem yourself because it was pretty great the first time, I thought.
Bravo. Well, now it's double stuffed.
Oh, ooh. Didn't see that one coming. Good work. All right.
Just because I've decided to take this entire segment to plug my article shamelessly, Andy Rubin liked the tweet.
Wait a minute.
Nice.
What would Andy Rubin say if
he said I like that tweet?
I like that tweet.
I feel very validated.
We actually got an email. Oh, I'm realizing I didn't put the name of the email. Oh, I like that tweet. Oh, hi Andy. I'm happy you logged on just to tell us you like that tweet.
I just wanted to stop by to tell you that I like that tweet, Flo.
All right, see you later. I'm going to get back to making the PH2.
Right. Gotta go.
The long national nightmare is finally over. Google has updated its emoji to place the cheese on the burger, not on the bottom of it, underneath it, as it once had it, which caused a lot of uproar. If you remember, several weeks back, this was a big deal. It was such a big deal. Apparently, Google even served it this way at its cafeteria. Was it right? Who knows? Who knows? It is but a subjective thing, but still, in this subjective manner, the cheese does have to go on top of the hamburger patty. And it doesn't matter if the hamburger patty is beef or veggie or vegan or what have you. I maintain the cheese goes on top.
I mean,
I'm glad.
It looks more normal, but I got to give Google credit for going against the grain, at least.
I mean, it's like I wanted to support them in this, but if you remember, I was silent on this issue because I would put the cheese on the burger. So
Ron Richards, silent on cheeseburgers.
You pick your battles, Ron.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't think...
sorry, Skype delay. Also.
Go, Flo. Go.
Just worth noting that Google has also fixed the frothing beer steins because apparently it was only halfway filled before, which everybody knows you cannot eat an entire pizza with half a pitcher of beer. You need a full pitcher. That's how pizza is eaten.
How on earth would a beer be frothy on top, but then space between the froth and the drink that's halfway down?
That was beer with hair. Beer with a wig.
I just don't understand. This is a detail I never noticed until this article, and I was like, "Well, what were they thinking? That's weird." But anyways, Flo, are you doing the dev preview or are you on the standard release?
I am not doing the dev preview because thus is the nature. I am trying to get this thing to stop changing colors.
It's fine. I like it.
I am not on the dev preview. I've been doing smart home stuff all day, and every time I read about software updates, I start to quiver a little bit in my knees because then it's like everything is going to break, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore. What have I become?
Yeah, but you know you're curious about 8.1. All you got to do is go into that settings and tap that button to see if it's ready for you.
Flo is definitely 8.1 curious.
Aren't we all?
8.1
we are. I'll admit, I'm a little 8.1 curious. It's the 21st century. I'm okay with that.
I think anybody that's watching this show that makes a point to watch this show and owns an Android device is probably a little 8.1 curious.
I agree.
True.
Obviously, some of us are further ahead than others on the dev preview.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. We're like seasoned 8.1 professionals.
Well, yeah, those are like the seniors in college, right? The people who they've been around the block a couple of times. They know their way around 8.1.
Some of us don't like to rush into it. Some of us like to save it for when it's after beta because then we know that we're not going to get hurt in the end.
How far can we take this metaphor.com?
I think we took it as far as it's going to go. And Flo, I
am just saying I'm not going to install anything until it's ready because the last beta that I was on, 8.0, broke everything in my life. And I don't want to take that on.
You want to
taking that on.
We understand. You want to save your phone for the right update. We get it.
Precisely. It's very expensive.
Totally understand. you go ahead and take my shot here, Victor, I will show you how you can get this.
Ooh.
This
is that Mockadile?
Is Mockadile.
Wow.
This is a Mockadile case, and you're all jealous, I know. My good friend of the show, Matteo Doni, gave me this Mockadile case. I am forever indebted to Matteo. And it turns out that you too can get this this Mockadile case for your Pixel 2 XL on my app called AliExpress Shopping. It's a place that you can go to buy things that take a long time to be shipped to you. But if you go into my favorite, there it is. You too can have your own Mockadile case for only $3.39 US. Minus 15% mobile only deal. So you're getting a deal here. One order. I can only imagine that was you, Matteo.
Most likely.
I knew it. And wait a minute. The feedback is by an M star. Is that you too?
It could be.
Okay. All right.
Only feedback on that one purchase.
Is that a Scottish flag?
It should be a Union Jack.
Union Jack.
It is a Union Jack. So that's you.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, well, somehow in the vast marketplace of AliExpress shopping, we have found Matteo. It's weird to me that it's the contrast of the fact that Android is one of the most popular, if not the most popular, mobile operating systems in the world. So many people. Sorry.
Inopportune.
I got really excited. I jingled.
He jingled.
How could we have known that it would have ended so well for Samsung? Because when I look back in time at that, it really seemed like that was about as bad as it possibly get. Sorry, see, I jingled again. That was. Dang it. What does this mean? This time around, it was, the rumor leading up to this acquisition was that Google was going to possibly acquire all of HTC's smartphone division. That, of course, didn't happen. Although, $1.1 billion basically gave them access to 2,000 of HTC's employees to kind of be brought into the Google fold to help them with their hardware efforts. And I'm just really curious to know what that materializes to. That's a lot of people, one, and that's a lot of cost to be devoted to all of those people. So how does that materialize to improve what Google has going on?
That is a lot of people. And all those people need managers. So they all need to be put into particular groups at Google. And Google is a giant corporation. So they have all these hierarchies that they have to integrate into. And then you have these development teams that you have to integrate into. Like, how quickly and efficiently can that actually happen?
Right.
Because people aren't just numbers. Like, you can't just go, welcome to your new home, everyone. Get to work.
Now
like,
do that thing you were doing at HTC.
What a terrible time to go on vacation for some people.
Why?
Because there's all this stuff you have to think about in the new year. I'm just never mind.
Like what?
I'm just thinking out loud about all the work that people have to do to try and integrate these new employees into Google. I mean, come on. Some people might have to move.
Really concerned about them having managers. I'm impressed with your concern about their personnel development.
I think I'm getting too personal about this. Let's move on.
Wow.
Wasn't that last clip hilarious with Gina Trapani in it? That we totally know what she did in that clip.
I hope you guys are still watching.
That was the best.
Yeah.
I tell you that moment with Gina was the best. Almost as good as that time that Flo said the thing, and then you said the thing, and then I said the thing.
Oh, I love it when that happens. That's why I love this show.
I do love the show. This is my favorite part of every Tuesday, you guys.
Yeah. Kind of a beacon for me.
I will one up you, Flo. This is one of the highlights of my week. I start on Monday, and it's like, oh, it's Monday. I'm like, ooh, but I have All About Android tomorrow. Like, it's the perfect spot in the week. It's a little pick me up we need. So.
Yeah. Absolutely agree.
Great year. It was a great year.
It was a great year, and I have a feeling we've got a lot more to look forward to 2018. And, we'll buckle up. And a year from now, you'll see 2.5 more hours of best of clips from the next year. We'll get there slowly but surely.
Oh, yes, we will.
Oh, yes, we will.
I like, Jason, that you're making your mark by Francis Ford Coppola length movies of clips of the show, which is great.
I can't help it. I mean, the way I pick the moments, I literally pull up every single episode and I scroll through them beginning to end, and I just wait.
51 shows a year. What do you expect?
You know how long it takes to do that? A long time.
Yeah.
But I look for the moments in fast scroll. I think it scrolls at like 30-second increments. I look for the moments where all of our faces are smiling. And there's a lot of those, so that I have to stop, scroll back, watch it again, decide, yes, put it in the doc. And there's a lot of that because we have a lot of fun on this show.
We do have a lot of fun.
So
I hope you guys have fun too.
All right, and I hope you have fun on New Year's. Thank you for joining us. There will be even more after the credits, and I will forewarn you, if you don't like Oreo cookie eating, you probably don't want to watch the after credit roll. Just saying. That's it. I'm Jason Howell. You know where to find us, right?
On the internet.
Where to find us? On the internet.
We're all on the internet.
twit.tv/AAA to find all of our shows. That's all you need to know. Victor, Happy New Year. All of you, Happy New Year. And we'll see you all in 2018. Bye, everybody.
Stay safe, everyone.
Stay safe.
Yay, Happy New Year.
I wish I had a noisemaker. I got Oreos, by the way. Well, we have normal and double stuffs. I think there are enough flavors to pull this off, but each and every week I'm going to take an Oreo cookie that I've never had before and eat it. Why? Because usually...
Now, this is an important moment in time because 2 years ago, these flavors of Oreos did not exist. It was just chocolate and vanilla, and that was it.
I think this is Burke's stash. Burke actually apparently has a stash of Oreo cookies. He's a fan of the Thins, which are the super... This is for the people that go, I like Oreos, but I wish there wasn't as much of that stuff on the inside.
This is how Burke keeps that boyish figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is, the Oreo.
There you go. It's basically the cookie with very little of the middle part. So that's either a good thing or a bad thing for you. So we have coconut.
Ooh, interesting.
Oreo Thins coconut cream is a thing.
Oh,
it's a fresh bag. There it is. All right, let's see.
Can we just note that the Oreo package, by the way, was slipping off of the essential phone that's on Jason's table? I just want to note that.
The birthday cake flavor.
Yay!
Oh, you see, you had a hard time last week with the coconut. I'm gonna make a prediction. You're gonna really like the birthday cake flavor.
You can see if you take a look, you can see little sprinkles of color.
Open it.
My kids, if they make a cake and they do the frosting, they want to pour a ton of sprinkles on. That's why this cookie is probably going to work.
I can smell the.
Is that your Oreo face?
Hold on.
Cinnamon bun.
Wow, I like this.
Oh wow, man!
I like it.
This is the pumpkin spice latte of Oreos.
Yeah, very well could be.
All
right.
It could be pumpkin spice latte.
And go ahead and open that. I will hand out one to you.
All right, we'll eat this off the mic.
One to you, sir.
Go.
Oh, you do that?
I do this. This is my thing. This is my jam. Yes.
I would say these are pretty good. I mean, when you've got jelly, of course you need peanut butter, right?
Oh, now I'm really glad I'm not there because I do not like that flavor combination. I am not a chocolate and peanut butter gal.
Upset now. You're upset, Flo.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's
well,
okay.
then, no, you know what? It's okay. I picked the day that you weren't here then, Flo, to not eat the peanut butter Oreo. Would you like one?
So good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right. You gotta like peanut butter.
That's a little sweet, though. Whoa.
Well, it's an Oreo.
Mega stuff.
Oh yeah! Wow. So
we've gone for the right time. Yes,
you've moved away from the novelty flavor, and you went for the. You're gonna triple down on the cream.
Yes. So as you see, we have here 2 layers of Oreo cream filling, not just one. You can see the separation between the 2 layers.
This is the laziest.
Oh, that is so unnatural.
Yeah. Very unnatural. It's a triple.
I don't have it.
But it's not, though.
But it's not triple.
It's really not a triple. It's a double.
You guys, this is so sweet.
Yeah, I know. It's actually
Don't listen to him.
Kind of nice.
Amazing. Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I brought something that is Oreo, but not actual Oreo cookies from the UK. So this is a Cadbury chocolate bar with Oreo through it.
What is that symbol? What is that?
That is the pound sterling, soon to be at parity with the US dollar.
Oh, that's a hashtag, right?
That's hashtag one. Now, while you're opening it, I will tell you guys that every time I'm in the UK, I run to the newsagent to get Cadbury chocolate because it is so much better than the stuff that our country sells. So you're in for a treat here, I think.
All right. So how about...
Although I like the international flavor, I don't know if this counts as Oreos, though.
But it's got Oreo in the label.
Look at that. That is full-on Oreo.
It says Oreo, Ron.
It's got a logo on it. All right, let's see what happens.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pass the little cubes down, and
I'm very jealous that I'm not there right now for this.
Yeah. A little crunchy.
Did you taste the Oreo?
Got the Oreo crunch. I mean.
Oh yeah, there's Oreo in there.
Hold on. Yeah.
If I try and talk and do that, like it's like creamy chocolate. It's just bad for listeners. That's really good.
Wow, that's really yummy.
I don't care if it qualifies. I'm happy you brought this on the show.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Patrick Delahanty gave us a flavor I did not know existed: the Dunkin' Donuts Mocha Oreo. We're getting real.
I'm jealous. I'm not there.
It says enjoy. Wow. So I'm not going to labor this. There it is. There's the whole package.
Dunkin'
Looks
Donuts,
like an Oreo, except with brown filling. Take a bite. Okay. I guess it tastes like a mocha. And the ceremonial entering of the studio by people that want some has begun. I hand it over.
They heard the bag open up, right?
Yeah, I think they wait.
So we've got mystery Oreos here. I've heard a couple of people say they taste like Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, don't pollute the airwaves.
Oh shoot, you're right. I'm totally polluting.
With these references, because we've never tasted them. Are they bright pink? What color?
Well, I think they just look like Oreos.
They just kind of look like Oreos.
We should smell these ones.
Immediately, I don't like the smell. It's the obvious. It's the mint Oreos, and I don't think there's any way to get it open.
You're not the only one who wishes they were there, Flo.
That lift tab isn't working this time. Oh, now it pops up. All right, I'm not surprised at all if these are completely gone by the time the show is over. But I'm going to take my claim on one of them because I always loved these because this is one of those.
Hey, now if you could stamp this would look like the official Android Oreos that were passed out to Google employees on Oreo launch day.
What the heck is that? Is that a grabber? Oh, okay. All right then.
Okay, short circuit.
I actually.
Yeah, that's Johnny Five right there, also known as Burke. That's right.
These are
Today,
just pure chocolate.
it's just plain chocolate.
Not that
There's not really a whole lot to do here.
So it's chocolate-filled Oreos. Fascinating. I'm curious.
I think I'm gonna like this one.
Yeah, probably so.
I'm gonna like it.
If you don't like this segment, just skip forward 30 seconds, I would say.
All right, chocolate Oreos. Initial feelings.
You really can't go wrong, right? Right? Okay. She's in heaven. White fudge covered Oreos.
I just saw those on Amazon today.
Did you?
And they are limited edition.
So I've gone to Safeway many times. Yes, I've got a few limited edition things in the queue. So this is the first of a few, and we'll see if we can get more and maybe send some out to Ron.
I do love white fudge. I do love white chocolate and white fudge. I'm jealous I'm missing these ones.
I'll give this like an 8.
All right.
An 8?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I'd eat 2 or 3 of these in a sitting for sure.
Even though this flavor has been covered, I haven't had an opportunity to participate in the cookie time. So I picked up myself a bag of mystery Oreos.
Ron, why did you do this to yourself? Well, I don't want to influence your taste decision other than to say that it was probably the worst Oreo I've ever had.
Well, that's not going to influence me at all. And I'm going to do it away from the mic so you guys can talk while I bite into it.
Okay.
I wonder what Ron thinks it tastes like.
Holy crap.
Yeah. The flavor of which you are enjoying right now is indeed Fruity Pebbles.
It was Fruity Pebbles. I can't believe this.
Here's a question: Are you numb to the Oreo flavors at this point? Like, at what point have you gone too far into Oreo land?
I may already be there.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to take a lot to wow me, and I think I appreciate it. I'm sorry, Patrick. Thank you for bringing the Oreo cookie. I really appreciate it. But
you looked the gift Oreo in the mouth.
He stomped out of the room.
Yeah, you made him mad.
I'm sorry.